लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ सर,
हाँ, yeah,
so that
correct.
because already it's full.
हाँ, yeah.
जी,
Morning, sir. Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ सर,
हाँ,
so that because
एक मिनट सर, अभी
already
डबल
it's
वॉइस होगी, अब नहीं आएगी आप।
it is already 100.
हाँ ठीक है सर, लाइव स्ट्रीम is on sir now, so that is done.
Now, people who will be trying here, they will get a notification to go into YouTube.
Yes sir, they will. Let me complete my job. I'll again share the link. Okay. No. Record the caption list. Recording कहाँ गया? शेयर स्क्रीन से रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं, ये चीजों को बदल देते हैं, समझ में नहीं आता।
अपडेट रहना पड़ता है सर, जवान
मिल गया
पड़ता है।
ये हो गया। Now we can start sir.
Ah.
Sir, can you see the presentation?
That's
Yes.
right. Yes,
Definitely.
It is there.
So good morning friends. We
Good morning.
welcome you to our first this panel discussion event, Master Talk. I think some voice is coming. Let me unmute everyone. Okay, can you hear?
Yes sir, we can hear.
Okay, sir. So my screen is clear now?
Yes,
sir.
it's clear.
Okay.
It's clear.
Sorry for the initial issue. So I once again welcome you all to this panel discussion meeting, which is the first of its kind. We are doing the Master Talk. And the objective has been behind this Master Talk. Like there are many issues which we, in photography, there is a lot of curiosity, more facts to be known. And there are some uh, people have some new thoughts about it, so something more to come. So that's where we have carefully chosen on the one of the most important subject, the Salon photography, clarity, concerns, and the future. There is nothing against or nothing for the topic. Primarily, the experts from different genres and their renowned authorities, they on their subject, they have been taken to, they have been invited. So we have with us Anil Singh sir, we have with us Satish sir, we have with us Anitha Mesurji, and we have BK Agrawal sir, who is co-founder of Chhayankan and also moderator of this particular panel discussion. So, moving forward, once again, warm welcome to this edition of Master Talk panel discussion, Salon Photography, Clarity, Concern, and the Future. My greetings to all the great women, every woman of this world on this International Women's Day. And they have a great role to play in the today's world when so much of war and everything is happening. They are the people who can bring in the real peace and happiness all over. So my greetings to all the women, and we have Anitha ji representing the all women of the world and many other participants in this group. A lot of greetings today. We celebrate the day with them. Mayank Kumari ji has joined just right now. We welcome her also. I also welcome some other luminaries from the world of photography, like Trish Kapoor sir. We have Aditya Agrawal sir. We have Tirtha Das Gupta ji, and many others. I may not be in a position to take up right now because the list is not with me here. So that's I welcome everyone personally on behalf of channel from the bottom of heart. That the Umesh Gognaji right now, I just recall of his name also. So to and they have taken time and joined us today. I once again welcome all the participants who have made the house full. All the 100 participants are there in this Zoom meeting, and our YouTube streaming is also live. Now, I would introduce all the four experts are very well known in the entire fraternity. They have a very, very rich and big biodata to be shared. Considering the time constraint, I have briefed it with few highlighting factors. Reading it, Anil Singh sir, you all know, comes from Lucknow. His photography journey is longer than 50 years, and he has worked in almost every domain. His I had a personal discussion. When I had a personal discussion, he said that he started with landscapes primarily, but then he got fascinated towards forms and colors, which is globally recognized. His work is globally acclaimed on this genre. We welcome you, sir, once again. Uh, his leadership and professional roles, which contributed to the fraternity. He was a former president of Federation of Indian Photography, to the best of my knowledge, twice. He has held these terms twice. Former head of Photo Division of National Research Laboratory of Conservation of Cultural Property, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He was president of Lucknow Camera Club also. Achievements, if we talk, it's a big list. Too few to mention are 250 plus national international awards, 1500 plus Salon acceptances worldwide, and 20 solo exhibition in India and 2 in the US. His big list of honors and distinctions, global honors and distinctions, show the kind of work he has done. Amongst the major awards he got was the National Award in Photography, UNESCO Award, Sony World Photography Award, and contribution, if we talk about 35 plus years teaching in photography in different format, in different on different platform, jury member for several national and international salons, which all of you are familiar with. He has received other international fellowships and awards, which is due to time constraint, I have not included in this list. He can be best introduced with his work. So here is a short PowerPoint play of his work, which you can see. Some selected 20 photographs are there. You can see that he has worked, and every photograph tells a story, not only a story, but a lot of things for us to learn. We still wonder how he looks the subject, how he finds the interesting subject, because many a times when I was with him, I could not find, but he could take so beautiful pictures from the same thing which looked very ordinary. So here are the landscapes you can see. So some of the work on the form and color. It's worth watching the full webinar from Anil sir when we can see the hundreds of such images, and every image gives us an idea as to how we can work forward on our work. So we thank you, sir, for joining this, and we feel privileged with your presence.
My
Thank you, sir.
pleasure and my honor always, sir.
Sir. Moving ahead now, I have a privilege to introduce Satish sir. His work in all genres are so prominently known to everyone, and his contribution, every work is so beautiful. So here is the list of his honors, and then you can see. I will briefly introduce him on the thing. He he has been doing excellent in outstanding. Excellent is outstanding and extraordinary in almost every genre, but he loves nature and wildlife photography, where he has done quite a lot of work. Major achievements, if we talk about 5,600 plus images exhibited in national and international salons, 1375 plus awards in photography competitions, jury member in 70 international and 40 national salons, conducted 50 photography webinars on the 33 topics across. Maybe one or two might have got added by the time I'm conducting this. We are conducting this particular event. Conducted 23 wildlife photography workshop in major national parks. And when we talk about his leadership, he was a former president in YPS, Youth Photographic Society, over 75 years old organization, very well known in the entire fraternity. And he has led that organization for 7 years. Amongst the recognition, awarded State Artist of Karnataka by Karnataka Lalit Kala Academy. And again to mention, he has many, but this is a short few points which I have brought here to him. His work now, you can see, uh, like amazing work in everything. You can see the scope and work the way he does. He does in travel, he does in landscape, he does in still photographs. See this particular beautiful composition. These are the pictures I see from Vietnam. What lovely light. An example of a beautiful travel photograph. Taj Mahal, a beautiful monument, very nicely presented, sir. Ah, lovely. See the arrangement which has come naturally in place. And here form and colors also. So some of his wildlife photographs. Lovely. What a beautiful. Sir, we feel privileged to have you in today's edition of Master Talk panel discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the opportunity, and it's my pleasure to be with Chhayankan.
I'm
Thank you, sir.
sure your contribution will be immense today.
Sure, sir. I'll try my
We
level
have,
best.
thank you, sir. We have for the first time on our platform Miss Anitha Mysoreji, and uh, again, once again, greetings. Many times I can extend these greetings to you, ma'am, for the International Women's Day. Her list of honors and distinction. Uh, She comes from the world of IT. IT has, because I'm also from the IT and I understand this industry very, very well. Uh, IT changes the profile tremendously of anyone who had been working really well in this. It's the one of the most competitive industry. You need tremendous agility to perform. While you have to be creative, you have to have out of box thinking in this industry that shapes your profile like anything. And this profile is so vividly present in her work that over a short period of time, while initially she was more focused for her achievements with the mementos and awards coming to her shelf, then the moment she moved to photography, in over 8 years, she has done almost everything what many people have achieved in longer period of time. She comes from Bangalore. Genres she covers the bird, travel, street and fine art photography. Active in national and international salons since 2016. 9,000 plus acceptances, 900 plus awards. I think a wonderful authority on the subject because she has seen all the salons so closely and she can share the secrets of success in salons very nicely. Exhibited in 80 plus countries worldwide, her three images are prominently placed to adorn T2 Bangalore terminal, which is a big thing. Jury member in several national and international salons. She had been Director, Executive Committee, Youth Photography Society, YPS, and Interclub representative. So I'm very happy to, Chhayankan is very happy to have you today, ma'am. Your work displayed here. See that how beautiful, the perspective she has taken. Each of these photographs is showing tremendously good perspectives, how the travel photograph can be taken so impressively. Wow, beautiful. It's worth learning the perspectives you take photograph from. Color and forms and colors. So portrait, so expressive, very creative, ma'am. Beautiful play of light. Lovely. Wow. How beautifully colors have come. Sunset, sunrise. So nicely taken. Wow. What a beautiful picture. Oh, lovely. Lovely capture. Thank you, ma'am. And we feel privileged to have you today in this edition of Master Talk panel discussion.
Thank you so
So
much, sir. It is actually my privilege to be here with Chhayankan. Thanks for the opportunity. And thanks to all of you who have joined today to be a part of this group discussion.
thank you, ma'am. Now I have a pleasure and privilege of presenting our own Shri BK Agrawal ji, who is also the moderator of this particular event, panel discussion. Uh, he said, don't spend time on my biota, but I know that each one of you who are present, any number of time we go through your biota, we'll learn one or two new things. We want to see time and again. He comes from Vishakhapatnam. His photography journey started at the age of 12 only. Major achievements, 840 plus images exhibited in national international salons, 100 plus awards and certificates, uh, contribution to photography, uh, revived Vishakha Camera Club and organized national and international exhibitions, conducted workshops across India and abroad, India, Vietnam, Bali, Cambodia, Thailand, regular faculty and judge in national and international salons. और एक जगह और भी है सर, बहुत फेमस है, ब्यूटी पेजेंट शोज में, वहाँ पे भी ज्यूरी में बहुत जाते हैं. And I think all of you know about it. And his genres I have not talked about. He is he's passionate about the portrait and glamour fine art photography. So his every work is immense. Other recognition: Lifetime Achievement Award, Academy of Visual Media, New Delhi, Honorary Nikon Professional Service, NPS member. Now, you know that each one of you, or all the experts who are present today, they do have a specialization in one or other genre differently, but they have tremendously good work in all genres. So I'm sure that today's webinar, we will learn a lot from each one. Let's see his work. So how he has been making the human beauty so beautiful, so lovely, such a lovely presentation, so expressive presentation. The most beautiful aspect of human life uh, is this, which he is presenting. Every portrait is a story. And the way he plays with the light, that's tremendous. Lovely, sir. Oh, beautiful. You just feel like watching so engaging pictures. Every image is so beautiful. Thank you, sir, for being with us today in this edition of Master's Talk panel discussion, and taking the responsibility of moderator, which is a very tough job, I know, and you'll shoulder it well. Thank you, sir. Now I invite you to take it forward, the presentation, sir. I'll stop sharing. Please, sir.
Amitabh J, there is a green line. It was coming on
Yes, sir.
screen.
वो किसी से हो गया था, तो अभी नहीं आएगा, सर. वो that
Acha.
was on my stop screen share. So I did not
Okay.
want to unnecessarily disturb in
Yes,
between.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Full screen आ रहे हैं सर? Yes.
Yes, it is fine. It is fine.
Okay. Thank you very much, Amitabh ji. One thing only you forgot while showing my picture is that all those pictures were of one model only, from one portfolio.
Oh. Yes,
Okay.
And it was very appropriate for World Women's Day, sir.
yes, sir. Correct, sir.
मेरे पास मैन का तो उतना फोटो भी नहीं है सर. Anyway, thank you very much. So, friends, today we are approaching a totally different subject altogether. सर, मेरा स्क्रीन का ऊपर का 2 लाइन कट रहा है. आपको दिख रहा है पूरा स्क्रीन?
Yes.
We
The
can
goal
see,
of
we
this
can see
panel
full.
discussion is to be a collaborator.
Yeah. So means we have a lot of organizers today in the crowd, in our audience. Lot of Salon organizers, even couple of past office bearers of FIP, and maybe like Tirtha Das Gupta ji, he has his own academy. So our goal of this today's discussion is actually for the progress. We don't want to criticize anything. We don't want to hurt anything, but we want to finally discuss openly and frankly about our Salon system. So please, my request, do not feel bad, because our intention is not criticism. Our intention is straight away constructive dialogue of all the stakeholders. We have participants, new participants, very senior participants who have uh, contributed their, like Anitha ji, Satish ji, means everybody, they are senior participants. I have stopped participating since last 25 years. So maybe I am the most junior participant here. But as a judge or like as an organizer, what problems we face and what needs to be reviewed in our system, like Salon system, we are going to discuss openly. And our this thing is to let us explore how we can preserve the authenticity of our Salons, particularly in the era of artificial intelligence, where a perfection can be artificially manufactured with the help of artificial intelligence. So new rules have to be framed. We have to review the earlier rules what we have. That is what we are going to look into. Then in photography world has already, means in past you have seen we were only in black and white, then color came, we adopted so well, then digital photography came, giving us a new challenge. And now another challenge has come, AI. But our Salon world has adapted to all these changes very nicely, and we are sure for AI also, we will definitely adopt it, and we will come out with a new solution for the problems. So our masters today, we will give insights into the different perspective of Salon photography. So like in the questions I found that many people have expressed why the newcomers are expressing their doubt or difficulty in getting into Salon photography. So what are the reasons they have, or what is the difficulty they face to get into Salon photography? It's first thing, they do not know how to get information about where the Salon is happening and how to admit in them or how to get participate in them. So only way to get information of all the Salons which is being conducted in the entire world today is to be a member of either FIP, IAPC, or any photography club who is a corporate member of FIP. So through the official journal of FIP, we get information of all the Salons that is going to be held or going to all the contest, all the Salons reports are there along with the details. And the second thing, once we get information, is how to go about it, how to participate. Initially, those same rules what comes with the entry form of the Salon is Greek to many photographers. They don't understand. Once we start participating, those rules seems simple and we understand them easily. So in the beginning, it is better to take a guidance from somebody, if preferably a local photographer who is a regular participant in Salons, who knows how to participate in Salon. So without knowing the rules, regulation, and how to select picture, without the help or guidance of a mentor or a local photographer, if we try, there will be a lot of failures. We will learn with initial lot of failures. But if we take the help of a mentor, the success becomes sooner and easier. So it is important that we initially we need guidance from a senior photographer. Then common misunderstanding of rule, a new entrant finds the rules, they don't understand the rule properly. Regarding particularly the definition, what is nature photography, the difference between nature and wildlife photography, then the difference between photo travel and photojournalism. So, and what type of picture will qualify for this participation? Initially, we take pictures for our satisfaction, then we get few likes in our social media and we think they're very good pictures, and we start sending those pictures and face with failures. That discourages us. So it is very important that we must understand, we must know what kind of pictures qualify for. It is different for social media, and it is totally different. It is a totally different ball game when Salon comes into picture. We want to participate in Salon. Very simple, one or two examples I'm giving, like heavy processing and manipulation is not allowed, particularly in nature, wildlife, travel, photojournalism section. Somebody who doesn't know the rules may apply wrong processing, and just for heavy processing, the pictures may get rejected, and he will not understand why it is rejected, such a beautiful picture. So on these subjects, our other panelists today are going to elaborate on these points. So I'm not elaborating here. What are the rules, regulations, and what how a picture qualify for Salon? What we are discussing here today is what is the real purpose of a photography salon. In the question you might have seen, a couple of our friends has expressed that when we can create beautiful picture with the help of AI, but is the necessity of salons? How is it different? Presently, means we have internationally FIAP, PSA, and RPS. And in India, we have FIP and IAPC, who give recognition to salons, to the organizers of various clubs. When they conduct salons, they have to take recognition from these bodies. Then only people will participate in them. Otherwise, the score or the success is not taken into account in the final count. When they count the who is who, or when they count your success for distinctions or honors you apply, unless it is recognized salon by these bodies, those score will not be counted. These bodies also frame rules and they set standards to be followed strictly by this organization, because the picture which are accepted or awarded are judged, means are participated in salons which maintain a particular standard, follow rules and regulations. So as per the rules and regulation formed by these association, the judging is done, and that is why those scores are only counted. These bodies today strongly influence our global standards of salons, and the definitions of each section, which keeps changing with time, and the ethics in salon, what is to be done, what should not be done, is controlled by these bodies. So the first thing is salon, they recognize actual excellence. These institutions not only reward good images. When I say reward, it is either acceptance or awards or giving distinctions. It is not only for just good images. We take good picture and we post it in our social media, and people say, like, we feel, or our relatives, they like them. We get a feeling that they're very good images. But here, when we participate, they reward not only good picture, they are created to preserve standards. The images have to qualify, they have to have a particular standard, then only they will qualify for Salon. A Salon is just not a competition. It is a filter of excellence. Unless the picture is excellent, it will not be, it will not go through the filter. Then, like I was telling, we will be happily shooting using AI to generate images rather than discussing about ethics today. If these controls or filters are not there, then we will not be talking about ethics. Using AI will be considered ethical and we will be creating pictures. But the moment we start joining or participating in salons, we know that AI generated images are unethical, means in salon standard, they don't qualify. In the present day of social validation, like I said, we go by the likes we get. And in that process, because our friends and relatives, somebody doesn't like it, he doesn't give a wrong comment. But people who like them, whether it is for a social obligation or a friendly obligation, even the picture is good or not good, they just simply put a like. And the author start thinking that the picture is very good. And when I have got hundreds of likes for the picture, it is definitely worth sending in Salon. And when the same picture gets rejected, he gets disappointed. And the natural human tendency is to blame the judges or blame the salons. These people do not know how to judge. That is the easiest way out. But when we participate in salon, we get to see better images. We see that what kind of images are accepted because the PDF of the salon catalog, what we call, comes to us, and we get to see what kind of images were participated and whether they are better and why those pictures were selected, not mine. And we start understanding the thing. And salons were created to identify, reward, and the pictures are also archived slowly in all the organization. They archive these images. When after 50 years, when we look back, we can see that this was the trend 50 years back in our salon photography. Today, if we see the older images which was accepted and awarded 50 years back, we may feel that many of those images are very weak. We may wonder how they were awarded, but that time they were the best. So competition makes a participant think differently and work hard. What am I trying to say? The simplest difference is it is a different thing to take a simple picture and different thing to participate in salons. Like let us say somebody runs daily or he does jogging daily. It is different. He doesn't have to learn any discipline. But the moment you think of participating in a race, it becomes totally different. You have to be taught systematically, you have to be groomed systematically, right from what footwear to wear, what to eat, what muscles to develop, how to develop them, timing and running. It is a totally different. It is an art by itself, means racing. Same. Suppose you are a good driver, doesn't make you a race driver. Race driver, the discipline is different. You have to learn many things. Like I was telling about the runner, I was having some leg pain a few years back. It is called plantar fasciitis. When I consulted a friendly doctor who walks with me daily, so first thing he said, no, your footwear might be wrong. So I could not understand. Then he gave me a book on footwear only. There I realized that footwear for walking is different, for running is different, for playing tennis is different, for trekking is different, for a footballer is different. And you will be, many of you may not be knowing that a footwear is made only to cover 500 miles. We are supposed to discard our footwear even when we're walking or running after 500 miles. And how that means within 6 months, if we are walking 5-6 kilometers a day, 6 months when the footwear looks perfectly all right, but it has to be removed. But coming back to our subject, that means when we start participating in salons, we suddenly learn many things, and we learn that, oh, these things means the picture has to be taken particularly like this, and these are the discipline, these are the standards, these are the rules and regulations, and accordingly we start selecting our pictures, and then only we are successful. So salons also encourage artistic growth. If for a new participant, they learn discipline, like I said, then they learn editing restraint, which will be how to edit them. Mr. Satish will be telling you. Then they learn to refine selection, how to select the pictures so that it will be successful. They also learn to accept rejection, and they don't take rejection seriously. They use it as a stepping stone to improve their standard. So unless we participate in Salon, our artistic side will not grow, because to grow artistically, we must go through this discipline and go through this rigorous process to shape ourselves or to chisel ourselves. Then this also preserves credibility of the medium by accepting only authentic works. What do we mean by that? Authentic works means if it is created with the help of AI presently, or if it is plagiarism, it is not an authentic work of the author himself. Or if it is a composite image, whether correctly done or not. Composite image, it's not a crime in open section, but the composite image is definitely a crime in other sections. So Salons, while judging is going on, they maintain the authentic works. You may have a doubt this, how do the judges identify that it is not authentic? You are true, because when we do the judging is done in 3 or 4 seconds. Sometimes we miss the problems in them, but later sometimes when we get complaints about that, or somebody points it out, then means the participant is fined or punished, and it is published so that people in future will not commit those mistakes. And also, photography salons, they tell us that in photography, it is camera is our tool, not the computer. So we have to generate a photograph through camera only. And this is particularly in AI era, means we salons discourage AI generation. That, of course, we will have a review today. And it acts as a guardian because they punish people who are committing crimes or mistakes in this. The rules also deter plagiarism. Like we have a law for murder, we have law for dacoity, we have law for rape. For every crime, there is a law. Still, like you may say that some people may participate with a fabricated image. Yes, true. There may be people who participate. They may have committed plagiarism. There is a chance that the judges can miss them. But like even if there is a law for murder, still murders takes place. But because of the punishment associated with it, lot of people, a majority of us, we are deterred or we don't write crime because there is punishment for that. A few criminals they commit, many of them get punished also. So when somebody committing mistake is fined or punished, that brings credibility to the other participant who participate in photography competitions as well. That our this silence makes a means it builds a global community. On my own, of course, now in Facebook and Insta, I can share my picture and expose them to a bigger audience in the world. But on our own, it is not possible to see everybody. In the Insta world or Facebook world, it is not that all those people are Salon participants. Not necessarily their pictures are worthy of Salon success. Not necessarily. But here, when we participate, interact, see the work of other workers, means authors, nationally and internationally. We and they are particularly art photographers who participate in Salon. So we grow. We are exposed to different trend. We are exposed to different technique. And photography is a visual media. By looking at other images, suddenly you feel, I could have taken a picture like this. We take a picture of let's say, a horse race using a high shutter speed. Suddenly we see a picture of horse with panning effect. Then we suddenly realize that I could have also taken, I missed it. And next time when we go to a race, we use slow shutter speed, do panning or show movement in that, and take creative pictures. So what I'm saying that Salons, when we look at good work of other photographers, and Salon only gives us a chance to look at the work of others, and we get inspired, we get to take better pictures, and in future we apply those techniques. And it also connect photographers across culture, genre, and continent. They create a global exchange of vision. Now, many people think that is Salon helping in the growth of photography. Some people say stagnation in photography. Some people say we take a picture only for the jury. They are true, but let us see. Salons are powerful platforms for growth. If any of you, like most of you, have participated in Salon, if we introspect what type of picture we were taking when we started participating in Salons, whether few years back or few decades back, and what we are taking today. So if we look or introspect, or we compare our images, what we were taking before started participation and what we are taking today, there is a big difference in the quality, in the standard. Uh, Earlier, before participating in Salon, we did not know what is composition, what is lighting, what is mood, what is emotion, what is the language of color in photography. But after participating in Salons, we realize that it raises our technical standards and creativity. It encourages creativity in exposure, like what shutter speed to use, what creative shutter speed to use, what creative aperture to use. Then we get to study composition. We refine post-processing, how to process them. All this we learn only when we are exposed to Salons. That it also encourages discipline, like I told you, how to identify what kind of images we should select to participate. We have to work within the standard and rules, that what are the different definitions for different sections in Salon. Then respecting the submission rule, following them, accepting rejection. Accepting rejection, uh, once it is rejected, few people get totally discouraged, few people take it as a challenge, and they grow. It is up to us whether we stop participating after that. But if we stop participating because it is rejected, then we stay there where we were. We will not grow. But if we uh, understand the problem, understand the reason of our failure, we try to correct them, work harder, then success will automatically come. So this itself is a process of growth. When we took the rejection as a challenge and worked from that point. So this builds professional maturity also. It is again, these salons create international exposure. We participate in salons, and we get internationally acknowledged. Otherwise, somebody sitting in London will not know who is Agrawal in India. It is only because of if I have participated in a salon, international salon, maybe they will see my work in the catalog or in the exhibition, and we get global exposure for that. And peer comparison. What happens in a club when your friend gets acceptance or award you don't get? We compare and we broaden our perspective, we grow. So it is only because of participating in salons, we have grown in photography. Photography has grown also in the process because everybody comes with a different idea. Everybody has approach to photography is different. When all the approaches of photography comes to one platform and people are exposed to that, future participants are exposed to that, they start taking picture creatively. So in the process, photography also grows. And this brings motivation. Like when we get acceptance or medals or distinctions, it makes us means that then you are put in a point of no return. The moment you start getting acceptance or awards, then you cannot return. It is like a what you can say intoxication. We get intoxicated and we don't return back. Particularly if I talk about myself, I had not heard of Salon photography or Salon till I came to Visakhapatnam in 81. Here I came to know about FIP IAPC. I became their member. I started participating in Salons. Visakhapatnam is a place where uh, fine art, whether it's sculpture, painting, or photography, is very well supported by Visakhapatnam media. The newspaper, they cover the events and our success very well. So when I started participating in salons and I started getting awards, for me, even getting a certificate in a national salon that time was a big achievement, or getting an award was big achievement. And I used to pass the information to the media, and it used to get published along with my picture, along with the picture which got the award, that in such and such photography competition or seller, I have got this award. So slowly means people were reading those things, and every month, 1 or 2 times, I am getting award or this thing. Then I am conducting exhibitions, news about that. So I was means recognized in the society as a photographer. My main profession was selling my automobile tires. But I remember, like, I was member in our Rotary Club, I was member in Walkers Club, I was member in so many other organizations. I was never introduced to anybody as I sell tires. I'm a tire dealer. I'm always introduced as a good photographer, award-winning photographer. He has got national awards in photography, one of the best photographer of the country. Like that, I was introduced. So in the process, what happened? Like, I got a name and fame in the society as a photographer or good photographer. And because of that, I started getting invitation for beauty pageants, for fashion events, for artist exhibitions, uh, thinking that I am also an artist, and I started getting invitation. People started recognizing me as a photographer. And when I opened my studio, it helped me a lot. I'm not talking that all of you should open studio, but even if you don't open a studio, but if you open a studio, it helps you commercially, because immediately people, because who have already heard of you as a good photographer, they come to you. A doctor in your city, suddenly in newspaper you see that he has conducted rare heart surgery, which nobody in the country had done or in the city had done. Next time you need a heart cardiologist, or one of your relative needs a cardiologist, immediately say, you go to that guy. He has got some awards, or he is very good in his craft, and he performed very rare surgeries. So like that, for photography also, people send clients to us because they have heard about us through media. So this is indirect benefit of participating in salons. Photographically, it may not be very significant, but it is an indirect benefit also. So, but like I have seen the questions in the group, it is true that there is a flip side to salon participation. What happens? Without intention, salons can also unintentionally create a community of photographers who are only shooting for rewards. If originality and creativity is rewarded, it will elevate photography. Actual growth in photography happens only when creativity grows. So, like we have apprehension that we start shooting for salons only, we start shooting for judges only. It is true. If we want to grow in photography and we want to promote in the growth of photography, both self growth and the community means photographers growth, then we have to come out of the shackle. Or while shooting for salons also, we should not stop thinking creatively. We have to continue our creativity. If we keep on following the old style, then photography will not grow. It will bring staleness. And staleness, stagnation, it brings staleness in any art. Art must grow. So now, there are two types of photographers. One is a salon photographer and one is an evolving photographer. What they follow is a salon photographer generally studies the judging trend, which judge likes portraiture, which judge likes landscape, which judge like flower, which judge like what is their choice. Accordingly, they start sending picture or taking picture. While as a evolving photographer, he will not study, even if he knows, he will try to achieve perfection in light. He will think about creating emotion through his picture, storytelling through his pictures, rather than shooting for the judges. A silent photographer shoots that wins, whereas a evolving photographer shoots what matters personally to him, what gives him personal satisfaction. A Salon photographer refines similar composition which will be accepted, whereas evolving photography experiments beyond trends. Salon photographer optimizes for acceptance ratio, whereas evolving photographer accepts rejection as feedback. Salon photographer measures growth by medals and titles, whereas evolving photographer measures growth by artistic depth. When he grows artistically, then only he feels that he gets the sense of fulfillment. In salon photographer avoids risk that may reduce success rate, or this picture will not get me acceptance or award. So we don't try different genre, different segment, or we don't experiment because that may not get acceptance. Whereas evolving photographer takes risk. He takes pictures and he experiments and he evolves. A silent photographer thinks in terms of sections and definitions only, whereas the evolving photographer thinks in terms of long-term vision. And this is very true because I have gone through the entire process. And 25 years back, after getting a fellowship of IIPC, I realized that means I am in the trap of shooting for the jury only, for acceptance and medals only. And I was not able to think beyond that. So I stopped participating. And I feel when I am a fashion photographer, and fashion trends and rules and regulations are totally different, and it evolves every week. Whereas pictorial rules and regulations don't evolve so frequently. So it brings stagnation in us. So strength of a silent photographer is acceptance, honors, and the risk of becoming a silent photographer is creative stagnation. Whereas an evolving photographer, the strength is developing a new and unique voice. A risk is slower recognition. His pictures may not be recognized in salons, but maybe, for example, you will see Mr. Anil Singh's work on forms and color. Many of them may not be recognized or rewarded in salons, but it has given him a signature style. We are talking about his making extraordinary pictures from ordinary things. So he has developed a separate vision altogether from all of us. And pictorial photographer, we generally get into stagnations. So to be a salon photographer, evolving photographer is a choice. It is not a compulsion. We have to decide how what we want to be. So if our vision grows stronger after participation, then salons have succeeded what they want. They want growth of photography. And if our creativity becomes dependent on validation, then it is time we must pause and reflect. Thank you very much, Amitabh for my first segment. You can move on to the next expert.
So thank you very much. Basically, we would now invite a discussion from all the experts on the topic what BK sir has already covered, so that all experts can put their views and see a meaningful outcome coming out of it. So other
Yes, sir.
experts are requested to come forward, please.
Yes, sir. Anil, sir.
Uh, Everything regarding the salons has already been shared and described in a very well manner by Agrawal sir, and I very much agree what is being shared with us. Uh, for me, why people often ask me a question: why do you do photography? So I always say, when I am able to make a good photographic image, I feel immense happiness and joy within myself. That is why this is the primary reason I do photography. Rest of the things are very, very secondary. My primary aim, why I'm doing photography, because it gives me immense happiness and joy within myself. And recognition, distinctions, likings, these are all very secondary things. So uh, when we are doing anything for our pleasure, then the things would be different. Salon participation may be part of it. Uh, as I said, when I am able to make a good photographic image, I feel the joy and happiness within myself. For an artist, for a responsible citizen, I think it is a duty of a person, or here an artist, to share this happiness with others also. When we are able to make a good photographic image, I think half of work has been done. Half has to be done. When we share our work or visual image with others, this happiness grows. It is already said, when we share our happiness, it always grows. So sharing is also very, very important. If we are making a very good photographic image, a visual image, and we are keeping it to ourselves, only half of the purpose will be served. This is my thinking, my perception. So sharing is also very, very important. And Salon Salons are serving this aspect of sharing. In previous years, we were not having the social platforms to share our work. Now this opportunity is there, and we are sharing our work. Others may see, get happiness out of it, may learn seeing out of that work. I always believe that by seeing others' work, by seeing legendary photographers' works, one can learn a lot. So this is another aspect, the importance of sharing. So in this regard, salons are playing, or I would rather say, were playing a very, very important role. The main aim of photographic salons are promotion of art and science of photography, more the art of photography. And I have no hesitation to say that salons have promoted the art of photography to a great extent. But what I felt, I will be sharing what I feel about the salon photography. One thing, by participating in salons, we can share our work. But what I felt through the years, I was a great participant uh, in salons. But after a time, I virtually stopped now participating in the salon photography because what I felt, the trend and style in salon photography is the same, which was in the yesteryears. If we go through the 30, 40 or 50 years, the style is more or less same. Same style of photographic images uh, are being accepted and awarded in the salon photography, particularly in our country, India. So a sort of stillness, a stagnation I felt, and I virtually stopped participating salons. Here, I think salons are failing in the duty of promotion of art of photography. Because when we talk about art and aesthetics, a sort of change is required over there. If we are following anything, if it is beautiful, it may be a process or it may be a thing. It is beautiful, but the same thing is being practiced years together, certainly stillness will be there. This is my perception, I feel. And stillness should not be when we talk about the art and aesthetics. There should be a change in perception. Uh, that's why a sort of experimentation is very much required when we are talking about art and aesthetics. In when I'm allowed to present my presentation, more I will talk about on this issue. But it is true. Salon, salons are very important for the promotion of art of photography, and it played a very, very important role. But now, in today's scenario, it is failing in this duty. We should know what is going on throughout the world in the visual arts, in particular in photography. Lot of experimentation, lot of new things are coming. How we are visualizing, how we are executing our photographic image. There are many things are going in the world. We should be aware of these things. Only then a sort of satisfaction by making an image which we are getting may be done. And this is what I feel about the salons. But certainly, salons had played a great role in promotion of, in particular, the pictorial photography. So will be other masters will be sharing his and her perception and thinking about this particular topic. Here I stop. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Please unmute. Agrawalji, please unmute yourself.
Amitabh please unmute.
Can we have Satish ji or Anitha ji?
Yeah, I'll just highlight about Mr. Vijay ji, what he spoke in. It was in a very broad spectrum. He has told what is Salon and what is to be noticed and how to participate and I mean how to look at salons in a broad spectrum. He has given a very good explanation. In fact, to continue with the same topic, I would like to highlight why salon participation is good for every art photographer. In fact, salon photography is about art. So unless and until you are an art photographer, salon is not your cup of tea. If you are not artistic enough in your approach or artistic enough in your compositions or thought process, then forget about salons. Many of the known people whom I know personally as a close friends and some of the very well-known persons from outside Karnataka also, they stopped within a few salons, maybe 5, 6 salons. Some of the top photographers who were doing very good work and winning awards when I started photography, they abruptly stopped participating in salons. This is because competitions among photographers. It is a healthy competition, because once if your like Mr. Anil sir said, if your pictures become stale, following the same old style of photography done by seniors, if you continue doing so, we are not interested. We want to see new images, learn new techniques, things like that. So salon participating, I am still continuing in few salons per year. It's not a vigorous salon participation like 15, 20 salons in a year. It is just about 5, 6 salons in a year. That is to show that I am still doing photography. I am alive. Because the thing is, once if you are become famous in the field of salon photography and you abruptly stop, people think whether you have totally stopped with photography or whether you are alive or not. They get confusion. So to keep that trend to alive, you keep participating one or two. The other thing is that if you keep participating, you will get some salon catalogs or some salon pictures that you can see and know what is the present trend in world of photography. Because whatever I was doing earlier, it's entirely different now. If you yesterday also I was judging YPS International Salon, the new pictures that we see, we will never do that kind of images. We cannot do, whether it is wildlife or color open section or monochrome. It's entirely a different kind of thought process that we should learn. Actually, we should not stop thinking that it is not my cup of tea. That is the reason that I am doing all genres of photography, where I am giving my different thoughts to the composition or lighting and learning those techniques. Because photography is always a learning until our last breath. So this is an art. And winning awards, see, many of the salon photographers, they get acceptance in the initial stage of their salon photography. They are so happy. They keep telling about 100 people that I got 2 acceptances in YPS, for example, YPS in National Salon. They are so happy. Next year, they will win one certificate. They, in fact, they fly in cloud 9, saying that I have got a certificate in All India Salon, because that is a very top award. And after some experience, they may get some medal, maybe third award or something medal. So this gives them very good interest to continue with the salon photography. And once if you keep winning top awards like PSA Gold or FIAP Gold, now they are doing PSA Gold and FIAP Gold. When we were doing salon photography, all of you here, there are almost 60-70% of the seniors are there. When we were winning awards, it was not medals. We were getting only plaques. And by the time it comes to our house, it was all broken. So those plaques itself was a very big honor for us. And sometimes we go to the press and give publicity in the paper that Mr. Satish has won the top award from Visakhapatnam Photography Club. So that itself was giving a boost for us. Now, it is very easy to get acceptances. Believe me, friends, when you win 2 or 3 top awards, maintaining that level is very, very difficult, because people expect that once if this person is entering the salon, I am sure that he is going to get award. So maintaining awards at that level is very, very difficult. So your standard has to be very top, and it has to be much bigger than others that they are following. So winning awards gives you more room to learn art of photography, learn more composition. And salon photography gives opportunity to travel. Once if you are very much interested to participate in salons, you need more and more images for different sections. Whether you may be a color, you enter color section or monochrome section, it's immaterial. But getting more pictures, for that purpose, you have to travel, you have to shoot, and while shooting, you have to increase your potential of using your thought process, new techniques, new compositions, everything. So this gives ample of opportunity for particularly wildlife photographers and photo travel enthusiasts, gives more opportunity to travel worldwide. So I feel to keep you happy till your last breath. Keep shooting, and maintain your standard of photography. And do participate at least once or twice in a year just to see, just to know what is happening in the world of salon photography. Thank you so much, friends.
Thank you, Satish ji. Now invite Anitha ji to
सर
put
सर
his
एक सेकेंड,
please,
ये
sir.
अपने थ्रीश कपूर साहब या इनको बोल दीजिए अपना वीडियो ऑफ कर देंगे, वो
अच्छा
मूव कर रहे हैं तो थोड़ा डिस्टरबेंस हो रहा है।
अच्छा,
थ्रीश कपूर साहब आपको सुनाई पड़ रहा है?
मैं कर देता हूँ सर, आई डू दैट.
नहीं, अच्छा यहाँ से वीडियो ऑफ कर सकते
हाँ
हैं?
मैं कर सकता हूँ. अनिता जी, आप कुछ बोलना चाहें?
Yeah. So thank you so much. What I would like to say is I think I agree with Bijay ji with respect to the evolution of salon photography for any photographer. So in a sense, just like Bijay ji said, I also started by not even knowing what salons are. And then once I came to know what it was, then it gave me a chance to just participate and then showcase my work over there. And eventually I got sucked into this vortex of salons. So I feel it can get you can get addicted to it, like he was saying. So once you get into it, and then you start to see other work, and then you feel, oh, I have to do better, so I have to get there, I have to make better pictures. So this is a way of evolution. But then at some point you may reach a stage, you may reach a peak or something, wherever you feel, okay, is what I'm doing right or not? Should I continue doing this? Why I can reduce what I'm, salon participation, I can do more. It's not that you don't have to be doing more on the side. That there is always a balance. So when you look behind your, or look through the viewfinder in your camera, you should not always be thinking, will this make a good picture for the salon? No, you shoot what you want, you evolve, don't hinder your creativity. That is more important. This salon participation can happen by the side, or even if it becomes a major thing, it is okay, but then don't hinder or don't obstruct your creativity. Just shoot, and later whatever you think is okay for the salon, you can always do that, and then you can participate. So it is definitely a balance. And when we are new to salons, it can be very easy to get carried away and just go only in the salon stream without thinking about anything else. But as you mature with the salons, then you realize at some point, no, let me stop, take a step back and see where I'm going, where I want to go. Then decide for yourself whether you can continue that way or not. But definitely, one thing I can say, salon photography or participating in salons has definitely raised the level of my photography. So I used to take pictures, a lot of pictures in the past, but then I didn't know what was the level where I stood. Am I taking good pictures or not? Okay, okay, I may be happy with what I have taken, but generally, whether the pictures are impactful, those kind of things, I didn't know how to gauge all that. And when you participate in salons, you know at a very global level where you stand. So, having said that, of course, whatever Anil ji raised, also there are certainly valid questions now. But then it is again, it's a choice, and you have to make the right choice. It is in your hand what you want to do. But definitely, you can grow as a photographer if you participate in salons. But you have to be mindful of the pitfalls. So, keeping that in mind, please go ahead and participate. It's a very good thing, and you will learn a lot. Sir, you're on mute.
सब अनम्यूट कीजिए।
Okay. Thank you, Anitha ji. There is a small job which I missed right in the beginning, which I would like to quickly do right now. I didn't share the details of this particular panel discussion. What will be the flow of the panel and what different experts would be covering. Now, the entire panel discussion is divided into 4 segments. The first segment was about Understanding Photography Salons, Basics and Myths, which was to be presented by BK Agrawal, sir, which he has done. And things which we had to look into: what is the real purpose of photography salons? Why do so many newcomers find it difficult? Common misunderstanding about rules. Is it helping in the growth of photography? How does a new entrant get information, which BK Agrawal sir has nicely shared with you. In the next segment, we are going to look into why do participants fail to get acceptances, which is what mentions have been coming in the previous segment by the different experts. Here, this section will be presented by Satish sir, and then following with a discussion by all the experts. Suggested the things which he would be looking into about the technical mistakes, category mismatch, over processing kind of content he would be dealing with, and maybe something more than this. When we go to the third section, it will be about judging, transparency, and reservations, which will be presented by Anil Singh, and talking about all our allegations of unfair practices justified. How transparent are scoring systems? Should judging be more open or public? Should there be some mode of training for judges? So some thoughts sharing by all the master experts. It is not a guideline for the organizations, but thought sharing and certain answers most of us who have in mind will get clarified in this segment. Coming to the final segment, which is very important, which is also very important, where we put the line last but not the least. Digital revolution and future of the salons, which will be presented by Anitha Mysoreji. Now, new things to how the salon should evolve in the futuristic direction, because we should not lag behind. So, AI editing, should salons redefine limits? Should we review the entrance fee? Social media versus salon validations? Should new categories be introduced? Should evaluation criteria evolve? So these are the four segments which will be presented by our different experts, and every segment will be followed by with a discussion amongst, so that everyone's view on that particular segment will be coming forward. Finally, there will be closing remarks by our moderator, Shri BK Agrawalji, and that's about. Right now, we are running half an hour late, sir, and somewhere down the line, we look forward to be making up. But I would request the audience, please be part of it. It's the first initiative. Maybe we will slip on time, or maybe something will be less, which we can take care. But believe me, four experts sitting on a topic and talking about it is going to open a very, very different, it is going to be a paradigm shift in the way we have been looking about the learning or knowing more about photography. Now, I will just put one small remarks on the supplementing a lot of comments by all the experts. When I started my IT journey in way back in 1984, there were hardly any guidance available on it. There was no internet available to guide us. There was no Google to help us. So, like, for everything, I used to go and find some books in Delhi and Mumbai. And from there, I will learn small things I had to learn with great difficulties. It's how these experts who are sitting with you have learned the things and they have moved forward. So now there is a lot of knowledge available at our fingertips, which is an advantage. At the same time, it is sometimes a challenge also. So with this background, I would now hand over, I would request Satish sir to take up the further segment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I will share the screen first. So can you see the screen, full screen?
Yes.
Is there, sir?
So friends, first of all, I would like to thank Chhayankan for giving this great opportunity to share our views on this beautiful part of the art of photography, that is salon participation. First and foremost is that when we do our most beautiful hobby for ourselves, the photography, we start as a hobby photographers, and then we look and develop and evolve as art photographers. So the basic artistic visionary, comes to our mind in photographing the subjects that is in front of us. It can be any genre of photography, whether it is a portraiture, landscape, wildlife, still life, or whatever you are shooting. Your artistry should be there. So whether it is in composition or lighting and those things that you develop on a later on stage, but until and unless, where do you show yourself as an art photographer? So salon photography is the platform to showcase our images. So but for salons, our pictures would have been under our beds, showing to our own family people or close friends, and get appreciation from only these two fraternities. But in salon photography, we can showcase our images worldwide and take appreciation through acceptances or certificates or ribbons or medals. And sometimes you will also be rewarded with cash prizes and other things. And more than this, when your picture appears in newspaper along with your photograph, you will be at a very great height. And salon photography is also a part of journey of photographers, where we would like to keep ourselves very healthy by traveling to different locations and talking to people, exchanging our views, and developing our brain. So that is most important for a photographer. First, we must understand what is a salon. Salon is a word derived from French. Salon is exhibitions. In olden days, salons pictures are the images that created by painters. They had a platform in exhibition halls to showcase their images, but photographers, they did not had anything. So the French government, they allowed photographs to be showcased in exhibitions in the exhibition hall, and thus it is called as salon, where there was a competition. Maybe it's not exactly a competition, but participation by fellow photographers to showcase their images. And after a few years of thought, they also thought of rewarding pictures with some certificates and awards. And thus the salon started from there. And now it is globally accepted as a platform where all the artistic photographers with the artistic creation, they can show their images. So I will show you the difference between salons and competitions. And now I will be talking in my first session on technical mistakes that we do in salons, the difference between salons and competitions, understanding sections. Many people, the amateurs, they don't know what is color open section, open monochrome section, and nature, journalism, travel. Why there are different sections for these salons, and they are not familiarizing with salon rules or terms and conditions set by the organizers, and they are not adhering to the size and borders. That is why they have a lot of technical issues while participating in salons. And monochrome section is a place where it is meant for specialization, where you have to show your talent in the black and white section or monochrome section. First, let me talk about the difference between salons and competitions. So as I said in the initial introduction to salons, it's only for exhibitions, where your acceptances and awards will be given to your photography, comparing your pictures with other salon participants who have given their entries to that particular exhibition. Or we for salons or exhibitions, both are same. So after the salon is over, the organizers used to send their results and also exhibit those which have been accepted for the exhibition. That's why salons and exhibitions are same terms. So these pictures are being exhibited in a hall where entrants they can bring their friends and families and press people. They come and have a look at the exhibition. What kind of pictures are being exhibited? What kind of pictures are given awards and those things. And here we used to learn a lot by looking at the exhibitions, by looking at the acceptances. What is the difference between acceptance and award? Why there is a lot of margin between acceptance and award? And why my picture got rejected? All these things we used to get our answers. And Youth Photographic Society is one such organization where we were allowing all the members of YPS to witness the judging. Right from almost about 45, 50 years, we have this practice. And we used to get around 100 to 125 members. They sit in the hall. We used to project, and I'm sure 90% of these people who are attending today are part of our YPS judging. They have witnessed this judging patterns that YPS undergoes, and we display the marks in front of the judges and the audience, and the salon entrants who sit in the audience, they look at their images, why they get rejected or why they get accepted, and how the images are being awarded. Because award is a process where the three judges will be sitting and discuss about the image, which one to give award and for what reasons. This is very important for a beginner to learn how this process will happen. So this gave a lot of inputs to all the entrants who are sitting in the hall. That is how the YPS members they grew in the salon participation, by knowing these mistakes and learning by their mistakes. They grew up a lot in the salon participation. And even today, our though it is a offline, it was offline all these years, but after COVID, it became online. So even in online, our judging will be telecasted or webcasted to all the entrants, so that they can see all the judges' marks and their discussion and how their images are being awarded. This is a learning process for all. And competitions is entirely different from salons. In salons, only the rewards are by certificate of merit or ribbons or some medals given by FIAP or PSA, which will cost approximately, the gold medal will cost the highest, may cost around 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. So you will be getting that. But you will be getting a catalog, and your directory will be maintained throughout the number of years, how many numbers you participate. So all these years, your directory will be maintained. In competitions, the worldwide, they are not confined to any rules set by organizations like FIAP or PSA or RPS or ICS or anything. The competitions is set by the people like BBC or Nature's Best, or so many people like that, who have their own rules and terms and conditions set by themselves. And in competitions, there is no acceptance or anything. If it is get accepted, it will be exhibited. If it is exhibited, among that, you will be, if you get an award, that will be to the tune of 2 lakh rupees to 10 lakh rupees to 50 lakh rupees, like that. So in competitions, it's only a matter of a trophy plus cash awards given by these sponsored organizers. In All India Salon or international salons, there are very few salons where they give 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees cash award along with the medals. That is the maximum. And in India, we have got DGMPC, which is held in Coimbatore. They are the only people who give the highest amount of cash award. of rupees 5 lakh rupees for the first picture, 3 lakh rupees for the second award, so and so on. So these cash awards are given only in the competitions and not in salons. So next, understanding of sections. So now we are coming back to our square one, where we are talking only about salons. And in salon, there are different sections. Why there is open color and open monochrome? There is no open nature, open journalism, open travel, nothing like that in these three sections. Open color has got open, monochrome has got open. Open means it is open to your creativeness. You can do any creative work in open color section or in open monochrome, and any processing technique you can use, any digital manipulations that you can use, only in color open and color monochrome. In open monochrome, the pictures has to be only in black and white. In color open section, pictures should be only in color. You cannot interchange these two. Whereas in nature, photojournalism, and travel photography, pictures should speak truth in the picture. It should be authenticated with the time of your taking and the place of your taking, where there is no manipulations are required or needed, and you should show the authenticity of the place or the subjects, and no creations or over processing is done in nature or journalism, photojournalism, or photo travel. So these are the difference of these sections and understanding of these sections. Now I'll be showing you a few images very quickly about monochrome images. These are the monochrome image where when they say monochrome, it is black and white, black, white, and grays. And monotones like blue or gold color or sepia colors are allowed only in this section. And there is no, there should not be any color differentiation in the processing. You should not get blue tones in your black and white when you are showing black and white. It should be totally blue or totally sepia. When it is in blue, when you are processing, you may get some color tones. That is not allowed in this subject. It should be have only black, white, and different tones of gray. And these are the some of the few examples that you can participate in monochrome section. Even the nature image, which is converted into black and white, can be entered in monochrome section. And even the wildlife, whatever you shoot in wildlife for nature section, the same thing you can convert it to monochrome and participate. And in monochrome section, when how to improve the images, not only in monochrome, in all the sections, how to improve images and how to get acceptance or awards. So this picture taken just in front of the Buranj hotel in Kausani. Mr. Trish Kapoor will be very happy to see it. This was just in front of his hotel. This picture, when we showed, it is very good for ourselves. It is beautiful, and nature, in nature, it is one of the best, you can say. And when you turn into monochrome, it looks more beautiful because of the sun shafts. But when it comes to salons, you may get acceptance or you may not get acceptance because it's in the borderline. But how to improve to get acceptance? You add subject here. Once I was sending only this image, which I was getting, I was not at all getting acceptance. Once I added subjects here, it started getting certificates and medals. The highest medal it has got is the CMOL medal, gold medal. So it, by adding just few subjects, you can improve your pictures to a certain extent, to the next level, I can say. This image taken in Vietnam along with Mr. Vijay ji. Everybody were shooting the whole basket workshop and other things. So I made this man to sit in between his creations. He is a basket seller. And we shot some of these images of his portraiture. This is a very good environment where it shows it speaks for itself that this person is a bamboo creator. He works along with the bamboos, and these are the fish nets and other things. Overall, it is looking good. But this picture, it made a very good wave in the monochrome section. It went many awards. The top PSA medal, FIAP medal, and ribbons, everything it has got. And so this is more successful than this previous image. So you can differentiate the composition, the lighting technique, or the processing technique, everything. So here is where we have to think twice before participating. We have to judge our own images and then think of it. Next, coming to color section. When it is open section, you can give any kind of art of photography connected the images, whether it is landscape with people, or still life, or whatever you want. This is a pictorial picture. Pictorialism is when we started photography way back in 1981, when I started participating in salons. Until the turn of the century, there was a pictorial section. It was not called as color open. As many of you you know that you all have been participating in those golden era. It was called as pictorial section, and even monochrome was only pictorial monochrome, and only nature section was there. There was no photojournalism or photo travel was not existing, and we were never knew about those sections. So pictorialism is the base for all genres of photography. Once if you know what is pictorial photography, what is a good lighting, the direction of light, the processing, placement of subject, storytelling, and good processing, then you keep these as a base for all genres of photography. This picture, it has got many awards in still life photography in color open section, and this picture can go only color open section, in not in any other sections like photo travel or photojournalism. I cannot enter this at all. So the people, they have a misconception, whatever it is color, you can put it into everything except monochrome. That is wrong. So I when I started doing this at home, of course, thanks to Deep Bhatia ji for guiding me. And when I started doing this still life photography at home, these were the creations that I imagined and did pictorially with composition. This got very good awards and all, but I wanted to improve. See, every time when you're getting, as I said earlier, when you get award, you have maintaining that level is very important. Then I started improving the still life by creating more effects and other things by various techniques. It is not Photoshop techniques, but while shooting itself, I incorporated various techniques to shoot this image. This got much better acceptances level and much better awards. Then what else I can do? Then I created in Photoshop. So these are not a Photoshop creation in the sense that everything that you see in this picture is my own work. Even the smoke that is coming out of that is my smoke photography work, which I deliberately created in Photoshop and created this new technique called as, I titled this as a spirit. Of course, whatever you see in the glass is also spirit, and the thing that coming out of the glass is also spirit. So that is how you can start improving the pictures and techniques, so that you can maintain your level in the present day of photography. The colors and forms, as Anil sir is famous for. So this was one of the shot I did in Blue City in Jodhpur in 2010 or 11 when I visited Jodhpur for the first time. So this also has got me in salons. It is a failure. In international salons, it is a success. But in international salons, it can go only up to exhibitor level, not to the award level. But when it came to Lalit Kala Academy awards, I sent this as one of the portfolio image. This got me Lalit Kala Academy award. So it is not that you have got very good pictures, but you should also know where to stand. Some of the salon pictures may not be good for competitions. Some of the competition pictures, the salon judges may not understand. Some of these images which goes to art academies like Lalit Kala Academy, they look for more of artistic and painterly look images even in photography. In photography technique also we use different colors and forms and painting kind of a thing with our creations, which will be successful in Lalit Kala Academy. And we should not think that those judges are different. Their thought process is different, not the judges. And when it comes to still life photography, this got few acceptances in the initial stage because this was something new. People thought touch of red is there and beautiful patterns, this circular combinations and repetitive forms are there. But I improved upon this image immediately when shooting itself like this. This picture is more successful than this because of just one placement of one small subject there. That's all, breaking the rules. So you should know while shooting itself what to take and what not to take. This picture of background, only the arches was shot along with our master, Mr. Anil Singh. Myself and Anil Singh, we too went to Jantar Mantar in Delhi. When we did not had any work, we just went and it was raining heavily. And after, even in the rain, we thought of doing some pictures. And he was on his way, on his own, and I was on my own, shooting all the Jantar Mantar in the rain. And after 1.5 hours, we met in one place and we came back together. But both our images are entirely different. And here, this arch, it will not have any value until there is a subject. But in this kind of condition, where can I get any subject? So after coming home, after so many years, after, I think it was just some 4 or 5 years, I think we shot this. So now, very recently, about 2-3 months back, I introduced a cat which I had taken somewhere, and this got me PSA gold medal. The left picture in the color, it got me PSA gold medal. The right picture, it is just getting 2 acceptances. This kind of images will not do well in any of the Indian salons or any of the international salons that is held in India, because the thinking capacities of the judges are entirely different compared to foreign judges. I am very sorry to say this because our judges have not evolved to certain levels of international photography judging, because we are confined to our thought process. Like horses have got some plates next to their eyes, they look only in one direction, they are like that. That is why I am telling people should open their eyes and look what is happening in the worldwide, in international level, what is happening. By looking the images of different people, we get to know, and we have to improve upon our own photography. And this left hand side picture, it got international, I mean the PSA gold only in the foreign country, not here. And here, many of the photographers, they do mistake. Actually, it is not a mistake, it is a new rule. Maybe about since 2 years or so, or 3 years, the PSA has made rules saying that whatever in the picture you do, everything should be of your own. Like I have introduced it, cloud here. This cloud is not mine. While I was demonstrating on digital creativity, I used my friend's cloud picture here, and I did this picture. So this picture I cannot claim as it's my own, so I cannot send it to any salons. Same in this case. This is not my friends, but this is a incorporated cloud pattern that is already in sky replacement, this thing in Photoshop. So I used this to create this cloud patterns to give that environmental look for this image. So this picture, though it is 90% is mine, 10% cloud is not mine. So I cannot use this picture. It's a PSA rule. So you have to read the rules and regulations set by PSA, FIA, or whatever, or even the organizers, they have their own rules. You read these rules before participating. When it comes to nature, there is no there is no manipulation or no over processing or anything. Whatever you have seen, you have to show them and give them exactly like this. So this picture, it is not a studio picture. The background is natural, and even the lighting is natural. It's a cloudy, bright lighting, and I have used a fill-in flash, that is a built-in camera flash, to give glow in the eye. That's all. That is the only technique I had done to get catch light in the eyes. This picture is not always accepted or awarded in any of the salons. Maximum it will get acceptance, and in some of the international salons, it has got some ribbon. That's all, not more than that. But I sent this particular pictures to many of the competitions. This has got me more than the lens that I bought. The first lens I bought it for this 100-400 mm. First shot I took this picture. That lens was costing that time around maybe 1,10,000 or approximately 1 lakh. This picture has given me more than that. So you should know which pictures are suitable for competitions. Of course, there is a very good nature picture of a rhino. So when you are shooting any nature picture, you should show the posture of the animal, and the anatomy of the animal is shown perfectly well in this kind of composition and lightings. And the storytelling point in nature is also very important. It is not just showing the animal like this, but sometimes when you get opportunity, show the storytelling point here. Here, the Maya tigress in Tadoba, it is feeding on a sambar kill along with its cubs. This name of the bird is the white-browed fantail flycatcher. So fantail means it has got a fan kind of a look for the wings. So when it opens out of anxiety or out of curiosity, or if there is an enemy in this thing, it opens the fans. So that's why it's called as the fantail flycatcher. So you have to depict that. The name of the bird should depict what it is called for. So like that, it has got better meanings. But this particular thing, only a nature judge who is familiar with nature photography, who has done very good nature work, only he understands. A person who is doing only photo travel or only pictorial photography or monochrome, he cannot understand this aspect. So I am fighting for several years along with the Federation of Indian Photography or any organizers to keep only nature photographers for the nature section, because of these kind of factors where they can understand the subjects better in nature section, because everybody cannot understand. If you show a jungle fowl for a person who is a judge who is not a nature photographer, he will think ये तो मुर्गी है, हमारा घर के सामने भी आता है, ये मुर्गी को लेके क्या करना है, so he will give only 1 mark or 2. But a jungle fowl getting in jungle is very difficult. It's a rare. If you get a good picture, why not give acceptance or certificate? They don't understand this. So this is the fact of judging in Indian salons or things like that. Coming to photo travel subject, when in photo travel, it is only you have to showcase your city or your country or its tradition or culture or things. And whoever sees this picture, maybe in Japan or Finland or in America, he should think that after seeing this picture, he thinks that a beautiful building, I must visit this place. He should get that an idea. So photo travel is depicting the place, the culture and tradition in a picture. And here also, this is a traditional training for monks in Tibetan monks. This was taken in Ladakh. This picture goes for photo travel pictures. And there is a pulley dance. fire dance in Udupi. This happens during the Krishna Janmashtami, and here you can see different kinds of this thing performing on the street and things like that. Any street pictures along with the buildings or the culture and tradition, you can show it in photo travel. Coming to photojournalism, photojournalism is a news category where every second is important. You cannot repeat. I cannot ask this person to throw that again, or I cannot ask him to pose and according to my instructions you throw. You cannot tell him. You have to shoot photojournalism in a fraction of a second and depict the news as it is without any manipulation, and how you have seen in that particular time of the day or particular time of the situation. Like, you have to show that authenticity of the news. That is what is more important in photojournalism. And there is a very thin line between photo travel and photojournalism, because some of the photojournalistic pictures can also be entered in photo travel. Some of the salons, they have only 4 sections without photojournalism. That time this picture can go for photo travel also, because even in photo travel we shoot this kind of images. And this also shows that this picture was taken on a aero show that was being held in honor of the president or something, which is a news factor. So these two same image can be given in different sections. And this is a photojournalistic picture. Also in photo travel it can go. So here you can see this kind of amputated leg, handicapped people who are running for a long jump. This was taken in a Paralympic that was held in Bangalore many years back, some 20 years back. And again, there is a street painting exhibition. It happens, Chitra Santeka, we call it. It happens only for one day in the whole street of one huge street. It is closed on Sunday of first Sunday of every year. And huge paintings and other things are sold in crores of rupees. So during one of those days, you can see there is a Sadhu's Blessings, this title of this picture. So this has got many acceptances in photojournalism. And again, here you can show photojournalistic picture, how the tiger is being, it is not being given its own freedom in its own territory. So we people are disturbing it, and how many gypsies are coming and blocking its way. This is a photojournalistic picture. So now this is up to the level of how to select your images for different section and what different sections means to it. Now, why most of our pictures they fail is because many of the people, they are not reading the Salon rules, terms and conditions. That is a basic negative point of Salon Salon entrance. In fact, in yesterday's YPS Salon also I saw. See, usually the organizers, they ask for a worldwide uniform size. It is 1920 pixel by 1080 pixel size. Many of the people, they have given 923 pixels, 1100, I mean 1000 pixels. Some people have given 573 pixel, like that. It is a very diminishing size. It's like a stamp size. So how can we judge such kind of images? And of course, nowadays, all the webmasters, they have made it as if the size is beyond the limit, that is 1920 pixel and 1080 pixel. If it is beyond that, it will not accept it. And they also mentioned 2 MB is the file size. If it is beyond that, the website will not take the picture. It shows your file size is too high. Again, you have to reduce it. So all these things, you have to do it much before applying, filling your entry form. And also, apart from size, they are also not adhering to the borders, because most of the salon organizers, they are not okay with borders. Even some of the people, they also mentioned 2 pixel to 5 pixel is the they allow borders. but beyond that, they will not. So this also, if the borders are very big and huge and all, automatically we, even though the picture is award level picture, we discourage it according to the rules of the organizers, and we reject the picture. These are some of the reasons for your rejection in pictures. And in monochrome section, black and white should be monochromatic. Also, it is referred as grayscale in the entry form, where they mention it has to be monochromatic, where it has to be single toned image. And in black and white means, as I said earlier, it has to have only three colors, that is black, white, and grays. For example, like this. So when you look at a picture when you are shooting, you have to pre-visualize your images, like whether this is good for color or good for black and white. Then you take picture, and while processing, you convert it to black and white or color, however you wish to. But many of the photographers who are sitting here today, we are all very well versed with our subjects. When we look at the picture, we immediately feel that this picture, this subject is very good for black and white, and we keep that in mind, pre-visualize it before shooting, and take pictures and process accordingly. In black and white processing, the white should be white, black should be black, and gray should be gray. If you go to the zone system of uh, zone system, in black itself, there are many variations. You have to show those variations in your blacks. That's also very important in black and white processing. And it is not just making your picture white, gray, and blacks, not enough. You have to keep all these factors. White should have details, black should have details. If the darkest of the black is there, it should be dark only. You should not bring more details in that area. It's like that. So how we pre-visualize this? This was a picture taken in vintage car rally. So I saw these lines and forms, and I immediately thought to my visualization that I visualized this in a black and white form. I thought the lines, the curves, and everything, if it is processed in high key, it is not regular black and white. If it is processed in high key, where the white is more and black is very rich, then it may do well. Then I did this. This has given me a lot of awards in monochrome, because there is a new kind of this thing in monochrome, because suddenly when you are seeing some landscapes, portraitures, or some still life and all, suddenly if this picture appears, the judges get more interest in this picture because of the colors, the lines, and rich black and rich white. Then this will get award. This has got almost about 7 to 8 top awards so far. That is how you have to pre-visualize and shoot. Now, this picture was taken sitting in the room in Buranj when it was when it rained heavily in the previous day. That day we were all sitting in the room and thinking what to do, because there is no good lighting and anything. For photographers, there is no good light or bad light. Every weather condition is good for real artistic photographers. So this image, when we are sitting, I thought when the clouds are moving upwards and the valleys are seen, the beautiful layers are being formed, it looks much better in black and white. If I send many of the people I have seen in judging, many people, they take pictures like this, and without processing, they send it to the salon. And afterwards, after the result, they say, I have taken beautiful landscape picture, but my picture got rejected. Why? Because this is unprocessed. You are not showing any contrast or colors or anything in this. Even if it is a color, you have to process it very perfectly. And even you have to recompose this picture. This will not go as it is as a good picture. So I processed it in black and white, and this is the result. You see the whites are white, the grays are there, various tones of blacks you can see. So this is called as pre-visualization in black and white. So if you are a black and white master, the color becomes very easy for you. First, you should understand all the colors in the form of black and white. Then only you can be a very good color photographer. So black and white is the basic of color photography, according to me. So many people, they get their pictures rejected because of the category mismatch, because interchanging images in sections. Uh, I'll talk about category mismatch in these terms: interchanging of images in sections, sending same or similar entries in different sections of the same salon, and many people entrants, they get confused about the rules for photo travel set by both PSA, FIAP, and according to PSA, they have got more rules than FIAP. And PSA has set PTD. Earlier, it was Photo Travel Division. Now they are calling it as Photo Travel Documentary, because FIAP has set World in Focus for photo travel. I'll talk about it. And some sections, they take only color, and some both color and black and white are allowed. So if you mismatch any of this, your pictures are going to be rejected by the organizers and also by the judges. How this interchanging happens: sending similar or same entries in different sections. For example, I got a landscape picture which is very good in color. I'll make both black and white and send color section. I'll send it in color, and landscape, I'll send it in black and white. I convert into black and white and send it to monochrome. Same picture, you cannot participate in same salon. That is a rule set by both organizers as well as by the recognition bodies. And people get confused about rules for photo travel. See, photo travel, in my slideshow, I showed what should be the qualities of the photo travel and what kind of subjects are allowed in photo travel. And in PTD section, particularly in PSA, they don't allow pictures which has been posed for the photographer. And if there are not many people in the background, or if you are showing only the close up of this thing, it is not allowed. So they should, according to PSA, there should be more people involved when you are showing the people, or if you are showing only the building or anything, that is allowed. But when there is some people in the picture, it should not be posing to the photographers. It should be more of candid. You should show everything uh, connected with the subject. But in rules set by FIAP, that is what they call as World in Focus. So they allow anything, even if it is posed or otherwise, everything is allowed in FIAP rules. So with the concurrence of PSA and FIAP, if our salon, like this salon has got recognition by both PSA and FIAP, this photo travel will have a new title called PTDW. That means it is recognized by PSA with photo travel, and W is which is recognized by FIA as World in Focus. So PTW, you can enter as a different this thing, but it is the same section, photo travel section. If there is only PTD in the entry form, that means there is no FIAP recognition. The PSA only recognized it as PTD. Then the rules set by PSA you have to follow. You cannot post the pictures in only PSA recognized salons. So these things you have to read these rules, which is printed in entry forms before entering, or you have to understand these rules and terms and regulations in the entry form. For example, in photo travel sections in PSA, this picture is allowed because this is a candid pictures. I have not asked them to post. It is taken as it is in the fishing market. This picture is not allowed in PSA, but this is allowed in FIAP. Even though it is natural, PSA will not agree to that because she is alone and she can also pose. If not candid, she can also pose. But in a world in focus, this can be accepted because you are showing the place as well as what they are doing, and it is part of the culture and tradition or the workforce of that particular country. So this is allowed in FIA. And this picture of a workshop, this is not allowed in PSA recognized because it is a post. Though it is not post, it is a naturally is doing, but they think because there is no other elements of human elements present there, so they think it is a post image. So the judges will not allow this picture. So even if you make a black and white picture, some of the salons they allow both black and white and color in the same section, and some organizers they will not allow black and white in color section. That you have to read the rules. And again, this is a photo travel picture according to FIA, but according to PSA, this is not. Again, here this subject is only one woman here, though she is working on her own. PSA will say that it is more post. Again, the same thing. This is allowed in both PSA and FIA because this is not post, and cyclists they will not always go in 10 to 8 people. They go alone also, and it is the part of the road and the background, everything is connected with the cyclist and that particular country. So this is allowed in both PSA and FIA recognized salons. And this is taken in a workshop of a mask workshop. So this is allowed only in World in Focus, not in PSA PTD section. But if the salon has got both recognition from FIA and PSA, this picture is allowed, and you have to put it as PTDW. Now, coming to photojournalistic picture, as I said, in photojournalistic picture, it has to be the moment has to be told. You cannot take more time, and I mean, you cannot manipulate nor over process it or anything. You have to show what is happening then and there. News item. Some sections take only color and some both color and black and white. Like in color section, you have to send only color images. In monochrome section, you have to send only black and white section or monochrome. And in nature, you can send both black and white and color. In photojournalism, if the organizers have put the rules as both color and monochrome can be allowed, they will allow. In photo travel also, some of the organizers they put both color and monochrome is allowed. So you have to see the entry form before selecting your images. So according to me, when I participate in salons, first I will go through the whole rules and regulations. Then I prepare, select my images, and then fill the application. That is the best way to do it, so that you will understand the rules. Not only rules, and if the people are very well versed with winning lot of awards, acceptances, they are very professional salon participants. They also look at awards for which a subject they have got special award and other things. Accordingly, they will select pictures according to the awards also. I also do that. So over processing images is very, very important, where we have to know over processing is required or not. So processing images perfectly is the rule of the salon, and processing color is different from processing black and white images. And while processing, you should know where to stop. And color management is very important, and magnitude color calibration is very important. And whether you are shooting in Adobe RGB or sRGB is very important. Experience of processing regularly is very important. So processing images perfectly, how do you get? And if you know how to process black and white images, what I said, for a photographer who is interested in color photography, his basic knowledge should be black and white. Even in processing also, if you know, if you understand the black and white techniques, the black, how much black should be there, how much detail should be there, and how much detail should be present in white. If you give more detail, the white will bleach out, and how much to keep the gray tones, all these things if you know perfectly well, then color processing is very easy. And in color processing, many people they give saturation more. That is where your processing goes haywire. And you should give processing such an importance, because you should show the colors exactly like what you have seen while you are shooting. You should not exaggerate. All the judges, whoever is judging national salon or international salon or competition, they are all very well versed with processing, as well as they have huge knowledge about the photography. So by looking at one picture, we know whether it is a saturation is more, or the color tones are unnatural, or the sharpness has been given over. All these things we know in seconds. So don't play with any judges. Don't think that if I over sharpen the picture, it looks very sharp. It is wrong. Whatever the sharpness that you have taken in raw, you can only manipulate or give little more sharpness. Otherwise, don't increase too much, because you should also know uh, sharpness level, how much to keep, and color levels, and contrast levels. All these things, how much to keep is very important. Here you can see this picture I shot with Vijay ji in his studio long time back. I think Vijay will be very much surprised today to see the cat in his studio, because um, he asked me to shoot this model with a red chair. Actually, that is a red chair and beautiful model. And I took this picture and liked it very much. But after processing, I was thinking that the chair doesn't have any subject to balance. So I put the cat that I took it next to my house and placed it, and this got me a lot of awards and uh, acceptances. In this processing, you see, though it was a color picture, the blacks also have got details, the whites also has got detail, and the gray tones are also there. How much to incorporate and how much to play with tones is very important for a photographer while processing. And this picture, if I don't process this properly, when we shoot, there will be huge mist and other things. The water will not be good. All those things, the lighting will be, because of the mist and other things, the lighting will be dull like that. But visualizing this image, I know that this comes out perfectly well if I do good processing. So do the processing. What is wrong? So do the processing like how you visualize, and there is no over processing, there is no over sharpening anything in this picture. So what is wrong in this picture? So this is how you have to process. This picture was taken in Papi Kundalu about 10-15 years back. So I had a digital D200 that time. It's a very small megapixel camera. This is how we got it in the early morning shot. But I had 100% surety in my processing that I can make a good image out of this. So I processed this initial time of processing in Photoshop. So I used to find whenever I look at this picture in salons, it used to get maybe acceptance or no acceptance, nothing. So I made a surgery on this and thought why this picture is not getting acceptance, because I myself is a judge, I can judge this properly. So I came to know about various factors that is wrong in this picture. The color tones are wrong, the processing contrast is wrong, everything. So I came to my this thing and participated next with a better processing like this. So you can see how much difference it has got from reject level or acceptance level. This came up to award level. This, after processing this, I got many of the awards. So this type of processing is very, very important for any photographer. But when you are processing, you should know where to stop, because many people they uh, they are taken away with the good colors that this, and they say, oh, beautiful reds are coming, let me take more reds. So they put more red, they increase red, yellow, like that, and the picture becomes very awful with gaudy colors and all. And processing, for even though it is a sharp picture, they give more sharpness where they ruin the image. So knowing the color management and the monitor calibration is very important while processing, because if you don't know the color management, it is a wrong. Being a photographer, you should be 100% photographer. You cannot say, I know how to take, sir, but I don't know processing. I give it to somebody. So you ask that person only to take and process everything. So instead of you taking pictures, when you are a photographer, you should be a complete photographer, from taking your camera outdoors, shooting, coming back and doing your own processing. Then you become a 100% photographer. If somebody is processing for you, he is processing according to his thought process or according to his likes. He may like blues more. He will give more blues in your picture. He may like reds more. He give your pictures become more red, which is a reason for your rejection in your salons. And if you don't monitor your if you don't calibrate your monitors, then it is uh, you get a lot of different colors, which is not truthful to the image. So when you send the same picture without calibrating your monitor, those images look very awful when we are judging. So we immediately give 1 or 2 because the colors are not good. So better you calibrate your monitors before processing. And experience of processing regularly is a must for every photographer, whether you are participating in salons or not, whether you are sending regularly to the competitions, or whether it is required or not, but keep processing, because that is where you are learning the contrast, the colors, the compositions, everything while doing processing. There are so many techniques that is involved. And somebody in the morning, panelists were, I'll just take 2 minutes, sir. So somebody in the panelists, they were also mentioning in the initial introduction that AI is in the future in what happens to the salons. See, in my experience, AI is entirely different. What you understand AI is entirely different, uh, and it is not going to affect in salons, because everybody knows whether AI is incorporated in that particular picture or not, which maybe Anitha will speak in the next session. But all our cameras and all our Photoshop or Lightroom, everything is incorporated with the AI technology. Whatever tools we are using in camera or whatever tools we are using in photo processing, it has got AI, and we are using that. Nobody is stopping you from using AI. Without that, we cannot process our images or anything. We cannot do our creative work. But AI is entirely different in salons, or when it is generated in the system is entirely different. Then generally what you are understanding, amateurs are understanding AI is different. So friends, I would like to stop here my presentation. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope it was useful.
Thank you, Satish ji. It was a very elaborate and very nicely presented and answered most of the question asked by, in fact, the first 2 segments answered most of the questions raised by the
Thank you,
audience.
sir.
And I'm sure that it was very educative and very learning. The purpose of the segment was very well fulfilled by you.
Thank you, sir.
Now,
Thank you so much.
I'm not inviting discussion at the moment on your segment,
Yeah.
considering the time constraint, but we will take up a discussion at the end for the entire all segment. So now I invite Anil sir for his segment, uh, third segment, that is.
Thank you so very much, Agrawal Saab. I am really grateful to the Chhayankan for giving me this opportunity to share my perception, my philosophy regarding the topic. And we are very much running behind the time, so I'll come straight to my presentation. Most of the points given to me, assigned to me, will be covered in that. And if there are any, we'll take it separately. So I'm sharing my screen, friends. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The only thing it needs to be
Yes,
run.
I'll do it. So,
Yes.
first of all, I would like to share with you photography mainly being practiced in two ways: as a medium of documentation, as a medium of fine art, as a medium for your creative expression, where the end product may be work of art. When we are practicing photography as a medium of documentation, it gives information about things, person, place, or even friends. When you are using photography as a medium of documentation, we should always uh, take care of it that it captures authentic reality, provides authentic information, shows reality, nothing but reality. We should always remember this. When we are using photography as a medium of documentation, nothing is allowed to be added, nothing is allowed to be removed, and nothing is allowed to be changed. This is very, very important to take it into consideration when we are using photography as a medium of documentation. Uh, in terms of salons, categories which come under the documentation, photojournalism certainly comes under the documentation, nature and wildlife too, travel, scientific photography, and sport photography. That, while entering our images in these sections, we cannot change anything, we cannot subtract anything, we cannot add anything. We should have the situation as it was when the picture was taken. So this is very, very important aspects. These are the different sections, particularly photojournalism, nature and wildlife, and travel section, where we cannot change anything. But where we are using as a medium of fine art for our creative expression, friends, photography is not only the most powerful medium of recording and documentation, it is also a unique and creative medium of self-expression, beside being one of the youngest fine art today. When we compare with the uh, painting, painting is about 35,000 years old. Photography is, in comparison, a very, very young visual art. When we talk about the important elements in any visual image, line, color, shapes and forms, values, space and textures. These are the different factors which make your pictures beautiful or not. When we talk about creation, my perception is there should be a sort of innovation. There is a spirit of experimentation. And above all, there should be an individuality when you are creating something. In photography also, when we are creating something, I prefer to have the very individuality using the medium of photography. I always believe repetition of style, subject, and content make it stale. Mostly acceptance of new truth is not very easy because we guard our idea of real. It happens. It's a human weakness. We should learn the phenomena of seeing things beyond the obvious. To me, this is a very, very important point. I also always believe that pictures are scattered around us. We'll have to frame it. We will have to see it. And I also believe that pictures can be made anytime and every time, anywhere and anywhere. So we should learn to see the unseen. This is very, very important aspect. Make visible what others may not have seen. My style of making images is I do photography because I love doing photography. I have already shared with you that if I am able to make a good photographic image, there is a immense happiness and joy within myself. This is the primary reason I do photography. And After that, taking the pictures from my stock, whenever I used to participate in the salons, I enter my pictures. I don't select my pictures according to the judge's interest or according to the judge's liking. I enter the images which I like the most. So this is my style. Uh, Another important thing, make visible what others may not have seen. These days, I am working on this aspect only. For a When I started doing photography for about 5 6 years, I was doing all genre of photography, whether it is landscape, whether it is candid, street photography, portrait, still life, nature or wildlife, and whatnot. But after some time, I experienced that I am more interested in landscape photography. Then on, for about 25 years, I'm still doing landscape photography. But for a very long time, I was doing uh, especially black and white landscape photography because it is said, and very rightly said, do what you love. At that time, I was more interested. I was loving doing the landscape photography, especially the monochrome. So for a very long time, I was involved uh, using the medium of photography in that way. But after some time, I question myself that if I am able to make a beautiful landscape image out of a beautiful scene or landscape in front of me or in front of my camera, what so very special I have done? It is always beautiful. I may have increased some of the beauty by taking the different angles, by taking the appropriate use of the light, or by doing certain things later on with the software. But that thing is always beautiful. Then a urge arise within me that I should involve myself in taking the photographic image of the very ordinary thing and try to have those visual image in the extraordinary manner. I don't know up to what extent I am uh, doing it. Very, very important thing for me that we should have a distance from a cliche in the content. What is cliche? We all know a popular or common thought, style, or idea that has lost originality, ingenuity, and impact by long overuse. And as I have said, Salon photography contributed in the promotion of photography, especially the pictorial photography, in the great way in our country, not in our country, but worldwide. But now, nowadays, I am feeling I'm just talking about the Indian salons. We are following the liking of the same old styles and subject content. Uh, and as I have said, that using the cliche, it should not be like that because repeatedly using the technique and perception and the style make it stale. So we should have the individual vision, spirit of experimentation. It is very, very important, the spirit of experimentation, and we should be innovative. Experimentation is the need of the art, friends. It gives freshness. Creativity, I think, always requires experimentation with the medium. When we talk about art and aesthetics, experimentation, even it means breaking the older tradition or rules. And here I will quote Ernst Haas, where he said, the limitation of photography is in ourselves. For what we see is only what we are. Very, very appropriate saying. Now, if we compare photography with the painting, there was a different sort of experimentation in the different time frame. Just for example, I am taking it very brief because we are very short of time. Realism, different sort of ism were practiced in different time frames. Realism around 1840s, then Impressionism around 1860s, post-impressionism around 1880s, then another is symbolism. The painters practice around 1890s, then cubism, another sort of experimentation in the painting around 1900s, then surrealism around 1920s, and abstract expressionism around 1940 and all. So photography and painting both are the visual art mediums. So when there was a different ism in the different time in the paintings, why not in photography? That's why in the beginning I said a photographer should know what is going on around the world. We should be aware what sort of experimentation, what sort of ism is invented in the different part of the world. This is very, very important for the Salon participants and especially the Salon judges. Two more meaningful quotations. Don't shoot what it looks like, shoot what it feels like, by David Allen Harvey. Another saying by Gary Winogrand, photography is not about the things photographed. Yes, very, very important. It is about how that thing looks photographed. So friends, this thing is very important for me. How that thing looks being photographed. It is very important. Around us, there are innumerable objects waiting to be discovered and explored. Our quest should be to discover and explore these things. I believe a photographer needs to be visualizer, thinker, and dreamer. Now, how to judge the work of art? This is very important. There may be different parameters for the different persons, but for me, the uniqueness comes at the top. There should be some sort of uniqueness, newness. The second point is the beauty. Third is the simplicity. Fourth is the skill or technique, inherent meaning. The skill or technique and inherent meaning are least important to me. Uniqueness. We may have the different definition of uniqueness, exclusivity or exceptionality, distinctiveness, matchlessness, rareness. But for me, individuality, uniqueness, and individuality is more important to me. What is the uniqueness? Good art either explore new subjects or old subject in a way that hasn't been done before. That is the uniqueness. When you look at art, ask yourself, what, if anything, is different in the work from the all other art you have seen? Sometimes it will jump out at you, sometimes it won't. It is very, very subjective, the definition of uniqueness. Some examples I'll be sharing with you regarding this aspect, uniqueness. This is a montage, beautiful montage photograph by Jerry Ulsman, how he imagined and executed this beautiful visual. Another example of uniqueness by legendary image maker, late Benu Sen. These are the beautiful, exceptional examples of the uniqueness. Again, by legendary image maker, Mr. Sushanta Banerjee. How he has conceived the image. This is very, very important for me. How a photographer used to conceive the image and execute it. Again, what is uniqueness? Maybe this visual give you some idea about the uniqueness. One should be able to perceive the image in a very individual way. This aspect is very, very important to me. Again, the same thing. Uniqueness. Uniqueness, this is the aspect of the art which relates to not only what the artist is depicting, but also how the artist is depicting its friends. I believe in finding art that stands out from the crowd but doesn't use gimmicks or cause distractions. Some examples of some legendary photographers. This is Prabodh Gupta's landscape image. How differently he conceived the image. This is another by Prabodh Das Gupta. Another one. How ordinary subjects or a setting may end up with a meaningful visual. So I was discussing with you that for a very long time, I was doing the black and white landscape photography, and then a thought came to me. I questioned myself. The thing is already beautiful. So the quest of making something extraordinary with the ordinary sort of object. From here, a new journey has begun, and this new journey is my experimentation with form and color. So this is the image of that theme only. I always believe that deterioration makes things beautiful, not ugly. Now the second aspect, beauty. The beauty is always will be in the eye of the beholder. Very, 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 very true. Some aspects of the art that are generally appealing to the people are repeating shapes, patterns, and symmetry, colors, especially colors that complement or enhance each other, texture, a very important factor, composition that focus on the eye and keep the viewer's attention. For me, when we talk about photography, that is the involvement of science and the art or aesthetics. For me, aesthetics, the aspect of aesthetic is more important than the technique. Yes, technique is important, but not that important. I may prefer out of focus picture. I may prefer less sharpened picture, and so on. I may like to exaggerate the color rendition of my picture. It is all according to my requirement and according to my liking. No standard parameters. When we talk about art and aesthetics, there should not be any sort of limitation. Sky is the limit. Anything which you like, you can do it. But the prime motto is it should look beautiful. So it is very, very difficult to define what the beauty is. And it is, at the same time, it is said a good photograph is more than 1,000 words. So defining beauty using the words is rather more difficult for me than showing a beautiful picture. And it is up to you whether it is beautiful or not. I am going little fast because we are behind the time. This image was extracted from the tree front. We should be able to see. That is very important for me. As I said, I always feel deterioration makes things beautiful. Now, the second aspect, simplicity. Minimum of elements. When we are able to make a photographic image with less elements, you can say a concept of minimization. Simplicity can imply beauty, purity, or clarity. Clarity. The place of simplicity in art is manifold. Its primary purpose of consistency, which results in clarity, purity, and beauty, friends. Faithfully copying every detail you see doesn't work. Too much detail destroys the illusion. Yes, There may be many other factors also. And here I would like to quote the Henry Frederick Emile said, "The great artist is the simplifier." And what Leonardo Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, friends. So we'll have to understand these things that will help you in making the meaningful and beautiful photographic images. And some images using the simplicity factor, this is again with Mr. Benu saying how simple this picture, but how beautiful and meaningful it seems. By late Mr. B. Rajan Babu. Simple and best. This is a tabletop arrangement, very simple, but very captive. With less of elements when picture is being made. I always feel the beauty may be of very higher level. Very simple, very less elements or objects were there. Again, this is the picture of the Lotus Temple. It is very close, the monochromatic effect, or definite geometrical forms are there, but a core of simplicity, you can say, is there in this photographic image, I feel. Skill and technique. As I said, these are the secondary things for me. Technical skill is the most comparable and measurable aspect of art. As we look at the photograph, we probably will be able to determine how skillfully it was created, simply by comparison with other works. Friends, when the digital technology was introduced in photography, there were many established pictorial legendary photographers who refused to adopt this new technology. But after some time, gradually, they had to come to practice the digital photography using the softwares and all that. Because technology is playing important role everywhere in every aspect of the human life. Why not in photography? If we don't use the modern technology for the medium, we'll be far behind. I feel like this. But we should always remember that we should be the master of technology. Technology should not taken up the mastery from us. This is the thing we should always remember when we are using technology, applying technology. So some of the pictures where different techniques were being used. This picture was taken in the analog era. A red filter was used. That was the technique to stand out the white clouds in the blue sky in a monochrome photographic image. This is a very beautiful photogram by Mr. K.G. Maheshwari. Certainly a very different technique, but it is making a beautiful photographic image, a beautiful photographic. And this is, we all know, the solarization or posterization, a technique which is providing the beauty to the photographic image. Then this is what we call the montage, the very old technique. Different images were being assembled together to make a composite image, to make it more beautiful, more meaningful. So the importance of technique is there, but not that much as the aesthetics are using the medium of photography. This is again a montage and using of the texture screen. Again, a different technique by Mr. Benu Singh. And I would share two work of my, this montage technique. It was very different of the montage technique which were in use by the different people in the previous years. They used different images to make a composite image. I used one image and make a duplicate, reverse it, and join together with repeatedly, and come up with my sort of experimentation with the montage technique. And I think 2 images I am sharing with you. And this is a different sort of experimentation. As I shared with you, experimentation is core for creativity. I always feel like this. So this is one image, and this is the second image. And I think, yes. Now, inherent meaning, art is powerful, not just for its beauty or the talent needed for its creation, but because it can cause emotion. This is the important thing. The best art has meaning beyond just words. Perhaps it will bring you to the happiness, joy, sadness, tears, anger, or make you laugh, or remind you of what something you have almost forgotten, etc. This stimulation of mind and heart is important for me. It is not necessary for me a photograph should always communicate or always have a story behind it. Photograph may or may not have communication or story behind it, but photographs should be able to stimulate the human mind. That is more important for me. Uh, a photograph may have number of meanings depending on who is looking at it. Each person determines their own vision of what a picture says or does not say. All meanings are subjective only. If you give a same photograph to 10 people and ask them what you think, what this photograph is saying, they will come up with the 10 different stories, friends. So, few more quotations. The whole point of taking picture is so that you don't have to explain things with words, by Elliot Irwin. Very, very true. It is said, and very rightly said, good photographs are like a good jokes. If you have to explain it, it isn't that good. And lastly, words cannot and should not explain work of art. So why we should try to explain a visual, a photographic image using the words? Because a good photograph is more than 1,000 words. And we should always learn the art of knowing what to ignore. We photographers take out the disturbing elements from the ready-made picture. Just opposite or contrary to the painters. Painters start with a blank canvas and the blank paper, and by adding the different elements, they'll come up with the painting. We photographers eliminate the disturbing factor. So it is very, very important for us. The art of knowing is knowing what to ignore. In this visual, two persons looking at the same thing and coming up with the different things. So this is very important aspect, friends. Now, as far as the judging are concerned, the points I would always use to keep in my mind that I think it is a great sort of respect when a judging invitation is offered to somebody. A sort of respect is being given, I think, that way. But at the same time, I also think that judging is thankless job. But what should be the properties in a judge? Roughly, I have made some points. These are: a judge should be expert of that particular field. Obviously, he or she should be, and should be honest to the core. This is another equally and very important aspect. A judge should be expert in that particular field and at the same time very honest when he or she used to deliver his or her judgment. Should have ample experience. Another very, very important aspect, there is no substitute to the experience. And he should be progressive in his or her mind. Should not be very high-headed or rigid. Should be considerate and cooperative. And another thing, respective to the other fellow judges. These should be the quality of the judging. There was a points given to me And the point is, should there be some mode of training for the judges? Yes, if there can be a effective sort of training for the judges, because this is the very specialized job, and if is training may be there to improve upon, why not? But I always think with the time we learn, with the experience we learn. So this is a very controversial topic. Uh, as I said, judging is when judging is being offered to me, I feel a very elevated, very respected person. But at the same time, sometimes I feel that it is very thankless job. Judging is a thankless job. अब चलते चलते, judging is very tricky job. Of course it is. Judges are also human beings. They have got their all weaknesses and their own likings also. It is not always necessary that a good photographer can also be a good judge, and vice versa. A good judge may not be a good photographer even. So these are all subjective matters. And important thing I always think, when you are selecting an image for entering in a salon or entering in a contest, photography is all about science and art, but without art, science does not work in photography. That is what I always feel. This is my perception. This is my philosophy using the medium of photography. So I acknowledge the images I use of some of the legendary photographers and some of my friends. Without these visuals, I may not be able to express what I wanted to say in my presentation. So I thank all of them, and thank you so very much. Here I end my presentation, and if there is any question, it may be taken on later or right now, whatever Agrawal Saab you think better.
अनम्यूट कीजिए अमिताभ जी.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful session you have taken, and a lot of good points you have brought out. Very softly, very nicely, you have covered most of the questions. And I think one message was very clear. Let's not be judging judges. Let's not be judging the judges. Let's be judge of our own work.
Yes, that's
And
very
if
important.
the
Very
moment we are
important.
that, we would be certainly successful. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Anitha Mesurji to give the presentation of the last segment.
Thank you, sir. I'll share my screen now.
Please.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we are running very much short of time, but I'll try to stick to whatever time I've been given. So what you see here is a visual of photography salons then and now. You will definitely agree with me, what used to be films, darkroom, and prints has now become wholly digital, which means that the photography salons have never been static and they have always evolved with technology. And that is the reason why we are at a turning point today where we need to see or look at the digital revolution and the future of salons. And in the process, we would like to look at the editing practices, participation costs, judging
May I
expectations.
request all others, then the speakers to mute, or should I do? I think I will do it. आप unmute कर लीजिएगा अनिता जी. Please unmute yourself. Anita ji, please unmute. Yes, fine. Go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so we will take a look at the editing practices, the participation costs, judging expectations, and the evolution of salon structures. So now let's take a look at this visual editing, the way it used to be then and the way it is now. Both these images that you see here are from the same capture. But what you see on the left hand side is the traditional editing, and what you see on the right hand side is the AI editing. So this shows us that modern tools can transform the scene dramatically. And that is why today we are at a point where we have questions related to where does AI editing begin or end, and these kind of things about the rules and judging and all these kind of things. So all of you, we will look at first the question related to whether we should or salons should redefine the limits of AI editing. Now, we've seen this already, but I'm just marking it here again. So the typical sections or categories that you see in salons, you have documentary sections. We've already covered it in enough detail in both Satish's presentation and Anil sir's. So the core principle of documentary sections is factual integrity. But when you come to open sections, the core principle is artistic expression. And when we look at traditional editing, this is what we've been doing all along. So the editing, it changes the appearance, but it does not change origin of the content. So you can use the basic panel in Photoshop or in Lightroom and make all these kind of adjustments that you see, which are documented here. They are all traditional editing. But when it comes to AI editing, there are there are two things which we need to clearly distinguish. One is AI assisted editing. So AI assisted editing is something that is generally acceptable. So what is AI assisted editing? So this is the editing that helps refine captured data. So all the data that you're working with is the captured data, and the editing features are helping you to refine it. So it could be denoise, it could be sharpening, it could be upscaling, it could be content aware fill. At the end of the day, the artificial intelligence tools, they predict the detail, but they do not introduce new content. So this is AI assisted editing. And the other type of editing is the AI generated editing. So here, the AI generation tools, they create visual content which is not captured in the scene. So it could be generative fill, like adding objects. It could be sky replacement with synthetic sky. It could be creating reflections that didn't exist. It could be generating background scenery, or it could be inserting animals, people, texture, whatever. It changes the content origin. So this is very important to understand. Oh, sorry. I said hide that, it went off. Okay. So what are the limits in practice today? So basically, all images must originate from a real capture by the entrant. There is no addition, there should be no addition of non-captured content. All visual elements must be captured by the author. These are the limits in practice today in salons. And AI assisted editing is tolerated based on the specific section. However, AI generated editing is a strict no no. It is not allowed. It is not supposed to be done for salons. Now, take a look at these two pictures. The one on the left is the traditional editing. So the picture looks quite drab because that's how the scene was when I shot it. Incidentally, it's one of my pictures. So what I've done on the right side, I can say it's AI assisted editing. What I have done here is I have replaced the sky in Photoshop. The sky has been shot by me. So all elements are shot by me, and it is good for open sections. Now here you may ask why I'm calling sky replacement in Photoshop as AI assisted editing. Those of you who've been using Photoshop for a long time will know that sky replacement was always possible in Photoshop from very long ago. So the fact is that it used to take you about say 10 to 30 minutes to do it, because you had to manually identify the sky area, mask it, and then introduce something new, blend it, and then check the colors and all these kind of things. But in October 2020, Photoshop introduced AI assisted sky replacement, that is automatic sky replacement, which was one click. So what it goes to show here is that the these editing features haven't changed, except that the degree of automation that is being provided by the tools, that has changed. That's all. So more and more automation is getting included, so everything becomes available to you at a single click. So the AI tools are increasingly integrated into everyday editing software. You don't even know that there is AI in your software. So it becomes so seamless. And the question is, where does photographic capture end and where does the digital creation begin? And because of these changes happening in the everyday editing tools, apex bodies such as FIAP and PSA, they have introduced some rules. In fact, these rules are very much applicable. They are very specific, very detailed, starting from this year, 2026. So with respect to artificial intelligence, so I've got a capture here from that. I'll just read it out to you. AI photo editing tools which enhance, adjust, or intelligently modify what was already captured in your photograph are permitted, provided they use only visual information which is already present in your photograph. Outpainting tools such as generative fill, which allow you to expand a cropped image using a context aware extension of the original photo, are permitted unless it is restricted by the division's definition. Also, other generative AI tools that generate new synthetic visual content, which is based on external image data, not originally present in the author's photograph, are prohibited, regardless of how small the edited area. This is very, very important. And in case you're found violating these rules, then he or she shall be banned from FIAP or PSA exhibitions for a period ranging from 3 years to permanent exclusion. And in fact, they have also come out with a table, a matrix of the editing techniques, both FIAP and PSA together. So you can look at the table over here. It is very detailed. It tells you for which section, what kind of editing is permitted or not. And it also comes with an addendum which says, what is the permitted AI enhanced editing? So it includes editing tools that perform transformations, enhancements, or corrections which are based exclusively on the existing pixel data captured in the author's original photograph without introducing externally sourced content. And what is not permitted? It is any assisted AI assisted processes for synthetic image generation that incorporate external image data, visual elements, textures, objects, or scenes which are not originally present in the author's photograph. So it is very, very important that you stick to whatever you have photographed. That means all the visual elements should have been photographed by you, even if you're making a composite. And in fact, it may be useful for participants who are more interested in participating in the nature salons to go through the FIAP book, which is on fiap.net. There's a FIAP book, and it has a nature guide. So the in the FIAP book, on from page 66 onwards, there is a nature guide for both judges and exhibitors. It is very, very detailed. In fact, even I went through it for the first time while preparing for this. So with examples, they have given you what is possible, what is not possible, what should be done, what should not be done. So this is a very important aspect. I encourage you to take a look at this. Now let's go to the next topic, which is the participation costs. So for simplicity's sake, let's divide the salons into print era, which is pre 2000, and digital era, which is say post 2010. So let's quickly look at the differences between how things have changed. So in the past, that is in the print era, there used to be fewer salons. Now there are hundreds of salons. Actually, if you, in fact, FIAP publishes a list of salons they have given approval to every year. And if you look at that, on an average, they have been approving at least some 500 to 600 salons every year. This is only FIAP. You can imagine PSA, there'll be so many more. So there are hundreds and hundreds of salons happening every year these days. In the past, you paid to physically exhibit your work. That means it was like you submitted your pictures to the salon, and the main end goal was exhibition. And it was the salon itself was expensive to conduct physically because it involved a lot of logistics. You have to, it was only prints, you have to send it by mail, and they have to gather everything, and then so it was a really elaborate process. But now it has become very digital. So these are all recurring digital platforms. You can keep continuing to use the same thing again and again. It's become so much more easier to even conduct a salon. there used to be fewer participants in the print era, and now there is very high individual participation. So everybody wants to participate in a salon. And recognition was only a byproduct of the exhibition in the print era. That means if you exhibited your work in a salon, then that was the primary thing. So all you wanted was to exhibit your work in the salon, then that had greater credence, and recognition was only a byproduct. But now what has happened is that the recognition outcome has become primary and physical exhibition secondary. If you look at most salons today, most of them don't even have a physical exhibition. There are very just a handful of salons which actually hold a physical exhibition of the prints. So it's by and large, it's just based on acceptances, awards. It's just the recognition outcome. And also the systems, the digital systems today are set up in such a way that they award acceptances and awards and things like that. And so everybody gets sucked into that digital system, and therefore recognition outcome is primary. There is no fighting that. That's how it's going to be. But that is the reality today. So let us see, let's take a look at the fee structure. Let's take for a typical international salon, what is the current fee? We can say it's about $15 per salon, which has 4 sections. It could be $15 or it could be 15 euros. Now, if you are participating in 20 international salons a year, you would be spending around $300. If you're participating in 50 salons a year, you would be spending $750 on the salon participation alone. And if you continue to go further and you want to get some distinctions, then you will need to be a member of these apex bodies. You cannot apply for distinction without being a member. So you have to pay the membership fee. Then you have to pay the fees for processing the distinction. So what started off as just a $15 fee, it quickly multiplies. And just imagine that at 50 salons a year, if you're continuing this trend for 5 years, it's going to be 750 into 5, that many dollars over a period of 5 years, provided you didn't take care of this. So the exchange rate inequality, especially for us in India, where the rupee is depreciating. So in fact, the salon fees, they stay the same in either dollars or in euros year after year. They're the same. So if a salon says it used to be $15 in the past, even now it is $15 for the 4 sections. However, if you look at the exchange rate in 2020, $1 was about 74 to 76 rupees. And in 2026, today, in fact, it's probably 92 rupees now. So for a $15 fee, salon fee in 2020, you would pay around 1,120 rupees. But the same fee today is 1,380. So what it means, you're already paying 20 to 25% more in rupees today than you did in 2020. So this thing, we may not really realize that, but this is really adding to the costs. So there is no fee increase by the salon, but there is a real increase for the participant, especially if he happens to be in India. So the question is not, is a $15 per salon too high? Is that fee too high? The question is more of, are participants consciously willing to accept a long-term financial commitment, and is the value proportionate? So this is what anybody who wants to participate in the salon should think about. It's not a one-time thing, it is a system. Once you get into it, you start to move with the system for as long as you want. And you will probably need to be there for a while before you can come out of it. So in order to make things easier for us, Federation of Indian Photography has fixed entry fees for national and international salons. I think there was already a question if there is something like this being done. Yes, FIP has done this. So for all single salon, for a single salon, for all sections, if it's a national salon, the fee cannot exceed 500 rupees. And if it's an international salon, it cannot exceed 1,000 rupees. So this is a snapshot from the viewfinder, which FIP releases every month. So they have fixed charges, so you cannot go beyond this, which is a good thing for us. PSA has some fee waivers. So last year, in fact, they did not allow any discounts, but from 2026 onwards, they have started to allow discounts. You can have early bird discounts, you can have some club discounts, you can also have some regional discounts for individual participants of the host country. So these possibilities are there. So we can try to make use of these things. Now let's look at should new categories be introduced, considering that there is a lot of AI editing and things like that. So as the saying goes, change is the only constant. Salons must evolve with digital technology, but the bottom line is it should not erode the definition of photography itself. Eventually, there can be more categories, but today the definitions are still evolving, tools are rapidly changing, practices are not yet uniform. In fact, those rules which are published by PSA and FIAP together for the editing, they have very clearly mentioned that considering the level of AI tools today, this is what we have defined. So these things are continuously evolving. So at present, this is what it is. So we may keep continuously changing it based on how the tools change. So this is what is happening today. So the immediate need is probably not to introduce new categories, but maybe to provide more clarity to the participants as to what is possible or what should be done, what should not be done. But just look at it this way. What have salons historically judged? They have judged the photographer's ability to see and capture reality. But if the creation itself becomes algorithmic, what are we going to judge? Are we going to judge the vision, the software skill, or the idea generation? So this is something we need to think about in the AI era, when probably there can be a section digital creation, etc., etc. But then we should definitely not mix that with the traditional sections that we have today. Should the evaluation criteria evolve? Anil ji has already talked a bit about whether the judges should be trained and all that, but here we are looking at more of what they should look at. So the fundamentals of photography have not changed; they are the same. But the technical perfection is easier to achieve now. You will all agree. We have modern day cameras. Anybody who takes a picture, it will be technically good. So where is the point of judging technical perfection? It is so much more easier to achieve. It's the bottom line. It is expected because you are using modern day cameras. Editing capabilities are expanding, so you can do much better job at editing. If you go back to some of the pictures that you had edited in the past and you do the same thing now, you'll see how different it can be. And judges are seeing larger volume of images. So what is probably required is a change in the way to look at things. It's just to shift the emphasis. So when judges used to look at in the past more of technical perfection, whether a picture is sharp, whether it is post processed very well, what is the visual impact, maybe there just has to be a small shift in the emphasis. They need to look more for the originality and vision, authenticity of the moment, emotional or narrative strength, and creative use of editing. There was a question about social media and photography salons, so I thought I'll bring this up today. So, social media is very rampant. So, what is the difference? Why should I participate in salons when I can get so many likes on social media? Yeah, social media, it's mostly based on likes and algorithms, whereas photography salons is based on expert judging. So you know where your work stands at a global level when you participate with others on the same platform. Social media is trend driven, whereas photography salons, they are more focused on the image quality. Usually the social media things, you look at it on a small medium, like on your phones or something like that, you really can't make out much detail. Everything looks very good, every picture looks good. Whereas when you look at it on a bigger screen, as in a photography salon, you will know exactly how good your image is. Social media, there is short term visibility, whereas in photography salons, there is long term learning. In social media, there is no formal validation. Bijayji already explained this very well. I don't know how many of you do this, but the moment you open Instagram and you start scrolling and you see a photo which has been posted by a friend, you will immediately go and click the like. It's more of a social thing. If your friend is posting his picture on social media, it's only natural that you go and like it. So that's how it works. Of course, you may really like it, but then this is more of a social thing. And there is no formal validation. How many likes you get is not a validation for how good your picture is. Whereas in photography salons, you get recognized credentials. I just took this as an example. So this is a picture which I had shot long back, and I had posted it on Flickr long back. And as soon as I posted it, in a very short while, it got about 11,000 views. And similarly, another picture got 8,000 views. And when I started to participate in salons, I thought, okay, nice. It's done very well. Let me submit it in the salons. It didn't even get accepted. So my conclusion is that visibility is not credibility. It's not the same. Social, you can do social media work, you can do photography salons. They are two different aspects altogether. You can balance them, you can do both. So, in short, what I would like to conclude is by saying that photography is still evolving. We are at a place, or we are at a stage, we are at a turning point, I can say, because of the digital evolution. So, the need of the hour is to balance the tradition with the innovation so as to make it more challenging for the photographers in the days to come. And by the way, some of these things that I have put together, I thank AI for helping with the content. Thank you.
Thank you, Anitha ji, for a wonderful presentation. Now, Vijay sir has to give the final segment of closing remarks, but he has requested just me, okay, let me do it, both the word of thanks and closing remarks together.
Yeah.
Let me put few things. Yes, sir. Vijay sir, please.
Just one thing means we were thinking of like a solution means what are the takeaways from this thing we will discuss, but we are already 1 hour behind our time, so that will take time. We will not again ask for suggestions and question answer. There is no chance. Most of them are already answered. So I think, but Anitha ji, Satish ji, and Anil sir, very, very eye-opening presentations and insight into salon photography. I hope people who have stayed till now will be immensely benefited. And thank you all. Your attention to Mr. Mitav.
Okay, let me. I'll take a few minutes only, not many minutes. The first few things which I have not shared earlier. The idea behind this master stock panel discussion was originally ignited by Satish sir. So my the 100% credit to him and his thoughts. However, there was a big challenge before us. Okay, like the idea is great, but how do we manage the time? How do we take it forward? Do we continue to work on it? The idea is great, let's take it forward. Unless we do something, we will not move forward. Presence of four experts on a topic which always invite a curiosity and some controversy and everything was a very different, very nicely taken up. So where we failed, one, time management, 100%. Like 1 hour late, we are going. We could not do some of the part of the discussion, so we will continue to work on it. And in next edition, we will certainly improve on this to see how do we take care of this and how do we make it more purposeful. Where we succeeded was to bring very authoritative and very authentic view on the subject and establish clarity and remove confusions with a positive mind on all aspects. The clear verdict of the panel was that let's not be away, we will let's not escape from silence because that's very important for our growth and development of creativity. But we should have a balance and we should have an objective driven approach, and which was very nicely placed by Anitha ji through data, that once you start, where you go. So you need to plan that how many salons you are going to do in a year, national or international, what acceptances and what are you targeting on. So some planning on your end can create a balance and also meet the objective of, because if you are not having recognitions from these salons and you have not exhibited your work, your most beautiful work doesn't go to the eyes of the public. So with these few words, I'm sure that we need to have more discussion on the subject in time to come. I have made a small note with me in between, which I would be reading out to save the time. So, first of all, let me thank you all because in the design we created four segments and all the four experts were allocated a segment. So, none of the segment was a routine segment for them. So each one of them have worked very hard to collect data, make preparation, and I know that even if they have taken half an hour here, how many hours have they spent at the backdrop to prepare this presentation? Nicely incorporating the visuals to show the story and in with the few words. So thank you very much, all the four experts who have taken so much of pain. And at the same time, I would like to thank personally all the participants. The meeting started houseful with 100 participants in Zoom, and that was the limit. And 22 participants, I could see them at the best on the YouTube. Meeting ending with 50 plus with 1 hour delay and by about 75 to 80 people present till the time of 1:30. And also on YouTube, you will not believe, 17 to 18 was the last count I saw. So that from 22 to only 4 5 dropped and the rest everyone was present. How seriously our participants have taken this session is the thing. So thank you, participants. You make the program success, and we look forward to be bringing more of these initiatives in time to come. Let me read out a few of the formal words. Uh, Thank you very much to all our distinguished panelists for sharing their valuable insights and experiences today. The discussion has helped us look at photography salons from multiple perspectives: participation, judging, challenge, and also the need to adapt to changing time. I'm sure many of the doubts and concerns that photographers often have about salons and would have become clearer today. At the same time, the suggestion shared by our panelists also point towards how salon can continue to remain relevant and meaningful in the future. On behalf of the Chhayankan, I sincerely thank Shri Anil Singh, sir, Shri Satish sir, Ms. Anitha Mysore ma'am, and our moderator, Shri BK Agrawal sir, and also other galaxies of the photography world who were present in today's presentation. Later on, I saw the Deep Bhatia sir also joined, and other people were there till they could have been there, and some of them are present even now. I also thank all the participants who joined us on Zoom and YouTube and contributed to, through their question and comments. We hope this session has been useful and thought-provoking. With this, we conclude the first session of Master's Talk panel discussion. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to meeting you again in our future session. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening with the cricket team. Let's
Yes.
celebrate the trophy today. I'm sure and proud of our team. They will bring it. They'll continue to retain in India. Now, the last word I would like to put to the today's session. Let us continue to learn, question, and grow together through photography.
Cindy,
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Take care. Take care, sir.
The group will remain
Thank you.
open and people can
Namaskar.
continue to share their feedback and opinion. Thank you very much. I'm finishing the session now with your permission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
सर रिसेंट टाइम में जितने भी आज तक मैंने वेबिनार अटेंड किए हैं
जी
एंड
सर।
इनफैक्ट इससे ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिव, इससे ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेटिव और इससे ज्यादा बेटर मैनेज मैंने आज तक मतलब रिसेंट ईयर्स में कोई भी वेबिनार अटेंड नहीं किया. थैंक यू वेरी मच
It
सतीश
means
जी,
it
अनिल जी
means a
एंड
lot to us,
अनिता जी.
Umesh bhai. And
Thanks a
we
lot.
look forward to be having soon you on our platform.
यस मैं
Please.
1 मिनट के लिए भी इधर उधर नहीं रहा, एंड इनफैक्ट फैंटास्टिक।